Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the show. I'm Chance Ellison. Joining me, my co-hosts Jacob London and Jeffrey Kahn, and special guest this week, Dad. It's always so good to see you again. Mark Ellis is back on the show.
Hey, who are these guys? Are these your little friends from school?
Yeah.
Yes, Dad. If you're around more often, you know that.
Oh wow! Oh God.
What grade are you in now? You kids grow up so fast.
I've been here for 3 years at this point.
Which means you now are sick of the bit, but Chance and I aren't, and we're the only two that matter.
We are still doing the bit. Bit never does.
Run it to the ground. That's how all good bits go.
At my funeral, Chance, I want you to be crying like you're and say like, "What a great dad I was."
And no one's gonna get it.
You better put in your will like he must do a eulogy. He'll understand why.
What an honor!
He has to do it.
Honor.
If it's untimely, my mom is going to be like, "Did he have a son?
Did I just never do about it?" Because like everyone thinks you're this absentee dad, but anyways, we're not here to talk about the family tree. We're here to talk about the NFL Week 14. As much as some of us do not want to. Yeah, let's just get into it. Right off the bat, props to the NFL. You gave us the worst game of the week right off the bat.
It might be of the season.
This game was so bad, even the players didn't want to watch it.
It was awful. This game was so bad.
Oh my God.
This game was so bad, it was almost like the 2 Monday night games were like, I think we can take them. Like, that's what this felt like.
They were trying to out.
I had this on in the bottom of the corner because I was watching the Game Awards for the most of the night. I was like, I'm just going to watch the Game Awards because it was somehow more entertaining than this.
I think I wanted to see a movie that night. I think it was.
I saw Lord of the Rings. I think you did
No,
too.
Yeah,
I
both
did.
saw Lord of the
I did go
Rings.
see Lord of the Rings, but I went to the late show, so I caught the beginning of this game. Just like I should have watched the early show. This is fucking stupid.
So actually, this is a true story. The gym I go to, it's like small classes, so there's like set times you have to be there by, and they have a 5:30 class that goes to like 6:45 ish. And so if it's like a game that I'm like I don't need to be home to like yell at the TV the whole time, I'll go to the gym. So I did that. I got home and I did the Amazon Rapid Recap. If you've ever used that, and
like a minute.
it's really, dude. It was 8 seconds. It was like there was nothing going on in this game.
Oh no!
What did you miss? Oh, nothing.
And then I get right back to live action in the second half, and I don't know if it was the Debo drop or if it was like Brock Purdy just overthrowing somebody, and I'm just like, this ain't looking good for Al. And like poor Al Michaels is who I feel bad for because Al's at the point.
It's like one or two good games.
We really need to keep him interested. All right, we really need to keep Al engaged, and he was checked out early in this one, and I do not fault him for it.
Nope.
Couple
we had a good
talk about
stretch.
this game. One. Yeah, this leaves a lot of questions for the 49ers going forward. Mainly, what the hell do you do with Brock Purdy? Because, like, do you pay that dude the big bucks? I personally think no, but I think you're going to have to.
I think you have to.
I think at most it's 40. I think at this point, I think it's the Baker Mayfield contract if you're going to do it, and that's
if he takes Baker Mayfield money, I would give him that. I wouldn't give him anything more.
You can't give him
not
the
a
Dak
penny
contract.
more.
You cannot give him the Dak, or let's say the Trevor Lawrence contract because the Dak one's a special circumstance. You can't give him the Trevor Lawrence contract at this point. It's just you'd be stupid, and it would be malpractice on the franchise. Like you can't do that. The Dak one, the Baker one, I could understand. I think that would be smart, or you don't do it. You don't have to do it this offseason.
You want to try drafting another quarterback?
No, he's still under contract with you next season. Like,
although I know we see a player refuse to not take a snap without a new contract, but considering he's literally the last pick of the draft and his paycheck is like a Primanti Brothers sandwich, then maybe he can't afford to miss games and practice.
If I'm Kyle Shanahan, I kind of look at how like my track record working with quarterbacks over the years has been, And I might feel a little cocky about just trying the open market and seeing who else I can get, like a Sam Darnold plug-in kind of situation. Like,
I mean, he was with the
say there
Niners.
was on Sam Darnold? Did they
Darnold
say?
Yeah, they were with the Niners. So here
Like,
he goes.
I mean,
well,
I've never been lower on Brock Purdy, and like it's a great story. I root for the guy, but I feel like the team around him is crumbling, and now we're really seeing what his limitations are as a quarterback. Because without a healthy Chris McCaffrey, without all three of their stud wide receivers like clicking together, this seems like something that is he's not able to put the team on his back. And so I don't have. If I'm a Niners fan, I do not pay him any more than what Baker's getting, and if I'm paying him that, then I still need to see something in these last 3 games from him because
they're out. Like I know. I think I did the math. I think I did the math the other day that technically they're not, but
they have it's a 0.1% chance.
Yeah, it's.
I don't care if they can make the playoffs or not. I need to see something on tape. You know?
Well, we're going to talk about it later for a certain player, but $1 million.
Yeah,
he's always wanted him. He's always wanted him as his quarterback.
That is true.
So
that is and the other thing to talk about in this game is Devondre Campbell. So backtrack a little bit. So Dre Greenlaw goes down in the Super Bowl, non-contact.
He's jogging onto the field and then
tears. He was a non-contact injury, so he was out. They signed Devondre Campbell in the offseason, playing pretty solidly, but Dre Greenlaw's back this week, so naturally cuts into a lot of Campbell's snaps. Mm-hmm. In the middle of the game, they ask Campbell to go in, and he says,
no. Screw you. Goodbye.
I'm out. Bye. And he just leaves the game. Like he saw what Vontae Davis and Antonio Brown did. It's just like, you know what? That was pretty good. I'm
join that club.
Myself.
Okay, so the most fascinating part about this for me personally has been the reaction from all the other shows and from everything. That has been my most fascinating. So you're right. The only other real example we have is Antonio Brown. And the reaction after Antonio Brown was very clearly and very loudly, I hope he gets help. Everyone went, he's done in the NFL. Everyone knew that. But the conversation around it was, this is a man clearly struggling. He needs help.
There was not that conversation with Devondre Campbell.
There are NFL players right now who have legitimate crimes that they have committed, who get who get a pat on the back and be like, it's all going to be okay. This guy's not playing in the NFL ever again. And you would think the absolute anger that has come from former players and from coaches and everything. And I understand it because this is not what you do. But Christ, you would have thought he killed someone. The way that people are talking, it's just, I find that aspect of it fascinating, of just of where the line is for you can never play in the NFL again. Well, and I just find that fascinating.
It's remember that line in Longest Yard where just like, you could have robbed banks, you could have sold crack, you
can't quit on the team. Okay?
You stay points on a football game. That's un-American.
Yeah.
But it's like we all put together, whatever we do with the rest of our lives, but we all come together on this field, on this 100-yard stretch of turf. And that's where you have to leave all that other crap at the door and then come on in, whatever that crap is. If it's good, if it's bad, it doesn't matter what it is. You got to show up. Like it's so weird to me that this dude did not go in the game when they literally could have put on the Jumbotron at the Niners Stadium. Like, hey, does anybody in the fans want to come in and play linebacker for a couple of snaps? And you have 20,000 people running on the field. It's like, oh, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah. Like, why did you not go in the game? Like, to not have the foresight to realize, I don't know that we can say right now he'll never play in the NFL again, because you could have an offseason where he, via culpa, mental health, all that stuff. But you have to, how do you not think of your financial situation at that moment? And maybe just say, I'm set and I know what I'm doing. And, it's like Vernon Davis's brother, God rest his soul, a few years ago.
Yeah.
Did for the Bills. And maybe it's that situation, but maybe it's just like you just have no foresight and, you need a fresh start somewhere else because you're never playing another snap for the 49ers.
Oh, no. Well, that's the most fascinating part about this is John Lynch went, I'm
cut
not
him.
cutting him. I want to suspend him so he can't go to another team. The NFL made it. The NFL. He actually petitioned the NFL to suspend him for 3 games so he can't go to another team.
Well,
As if another team would cite him.
That's so they don't have to pay him.
Yeah, that's
what
what I mean. So
suspended.
they don't have to pay him. So he's not a healthy scratch, but he can't go then sign with another team and try and win and make a playoff run or something.
Yeah, or
like
something,
that's so yeah, it's interesting. The other big thing, who's looking like an absolute genius out of this season, out of every other team, is Brian Gutekunst, the Packers GM. He's looking like an
because he
absolute
got rid of Devondre Campbell.
genius. No, not only that, but but also the Aaron Rodgers stuff. Like everyone is just like, oh yeah, no, this guy knows what he's doing. He's kind of good at his job, despite everyone thinking he's an idiot after the Jordan Love pick.
Well, he was for a good solid 2 years, but now he's looking like an idiot.
Long-term plan.
Long-term planning. All right. Let's move on to, so we had some stories from the weekend as well that we want to quickly talk about. Bill Belichick has signed with North Carolina.
Wild.
Huge.
Bill Belichick's not in the NFL, guys. He won't be. He's not. He probably isn't coming back to the NFL. More than likely at this point.
I am so excited because this hits home for me. I am so excited. North Carolina, ACC, not juggernaut, just a team in the ACC with a very famous brand,
At least for football.
has to travel down Tobacco Road to Wake Forest University when the Demon Deacons host the Tar Heels next year, and Bill Belichick is going to be at the sideline coaching against my alma mater, and it's going to be the weirdest. It's like a fever dream. Like, what is happening?
You flying home? You're gonna fly home, but you're gonna fly there.
I'm already on a text chain with a bunch of my college boys. Like, should we do like homecoming? like, should we go see this?
Never thought this would happen. Yeah.
It's fascinating. This whole story is fascinating for me, more so from just a
Bill Belichick's life post NFL has been fascinating.
Well, so I think a big part of the I truly think this is what he was told. There's not a job offer, and Robert Kraft has really poisoned the well. And Robert Kraft has gone around to all the other owners and gone, do not give that man your team. It is not
because he'll want full control.
Yeah, and also I don't think anything's going to comply with the amount of control that Belichick is going to want.
Oh yeah,
but that's what I mean. And I think because I think there would have been a few teams that maybe would have done it if Robert Kraft had said, yeah, no, it's good. I think the documentary very clearly, Robert Kraft and Belichick do not like each other anymore. Like that relationship is done. And it's fascinating for North Carolina. I mean, it's good. Hey, you got Bill Belichick. We'll see what happens. I'm fascinated to see him in college with the NIL system, with the transfer portal. That's gonna be wild.
How does that dude recruit is my question.
I think he could either have wild success at UNC, to be honest with you, or I think it could be one of those situations where when we see a coach who's had so much success in either pro or college, and then they go to the other place, they either go from college to pro or pro to college.
Yeah.
They just seem to get checked out because it just ain't their vibe. It ain't what they thought they were signing up for.
Yeah.
You saw it with Nick Saban when he went to the Dolphins, and you saw it with Charlie Weiss when he went to Notre Dame. It's like
Urban Meyer.
You very quick. Yeah, I mean, Urban Meyer, same thing. More recent, but it's like Urban Meyer, who is famously a dude who cannot handle losing. He stews over to get so upset. Week 4, they lose on the road, or week 5 or whatever, and he's just trying to and his wandering fingers go where they shouldn't at a bar drinking a beer. And it's like, dude, that's how you're handling losses now? You were a ruthless madman when you were at Ohio State and Florida and all those places. I think this works out very well for Carolina year 1. And then I don't know where it goes after that. It is such a wild card, seesaw 50-50 for me.
Yeah,
I think his sales pitch will be, and this is, I actually don't think the wins and losses is going to be Belichick's big success story for North Carolina. I think it's going to be, 60% of my class got into the NFL.
That's my thing.
That's going to be his thing.
I think UNC is going to become a big NFL pipeline now.
Yeah, I got you into the NFL. That I think is going to be his claim to fame is I can do that. So.
There's also the money thing, regardless of who the coach is. Like, you could have me be announced the new coach of UNC, and if they have $20 to $25 million to spend in NIL, I'm going to get players, and I'm going to go at least to a bowl game, and it's going to make news. Because because the ACC is not. I hate to say it, it's not what it used to be in college football. Like Clemson and Florida State are not the dominant forces that they used to be every year, and so that is there for the taking. I mean, SMU. It lost to Clemson, but Clemson didn't look that good all season. The ACC is wide open. And so Belichick, if he gets a couple studs in key positions, they can go to the ACC championship game, which, regardless of what he thinks about it, everybody, all the talking heads are going to say, wow, what an incredible job Bill Belichick did. This is the Belichick factor.
Well, especially for North Carolina, which is not a football school, at all. It is the basketball school. So if he turns that around, speaking of teams going to not going to the championship game, Travis Hunter wins the Heisman.
In all fairness, I don't think any of those nominees are going to go to the championship game.
That's fair, actually. I mean, look, it's tough. I know this one's slightly controversial because everyone's like, oh, he's not even the best player in either of his positions, but it's the fact that it was either of his positions.
Right.
Let's be real here, guys. But I don't. Yeah.
I'm like, he's again. Is he the best receiver in football? No. But is he the best corner in college football? No. But he is damn good at both.
Yeah. He's close to the best corner in football, though. I mean, he's really.
Oh yeah, no, like I
really
absolutely think he should go corner.
He has to go corner. I think we'll talk about more of this when we do our draft coverage, but he has to go corner and be like a third string wide receiver. He cannot be
a returner.
Which is what I kept saying in our group chat, and y'all were saying I was crazy, but I did say
the problem is the money. He'll be more paid as a wide receiver. That's why.
True.
That's
the temptation. That's the temptation. Though.
Yeah. So, yeah. All right. Let's move on to our meaningless games. These were games that are either the results didn't overtly matter towards the playoffs,
or they
were just bad games. So we got the Ravens absolutely annihilate. This was it was 15-point spread, and even that wasn't enough. This was embarrassing and over within 30 seconds. I don't know. Dable, they're done. Dable's done. He has to be at this point.
Probably.
Still think he's a really good coach, though. I think he's I think he could be a really good head coach too. But
moreover, Joe Shane needs to be fired.
And that's why I think it's both. I actually think if they could keep Dable, they would. But because Shane's going to get fired, and you can't really bring in a GM without then also hiring and getting them to hire a coach, and you'd be bringing in a lame duck coach. It's just not worth it. Given we're most likely losing Joe Brady, hey. Come home. Just come back home and be our OC again, please, because we're losing Joe Brady, and I hate it. I don't want to go through this again. Bengals Titans.
This is drunk game of the week.
This was drunk game of the week.
This was drunk game of the week, but not only that, Zach Taylor done. Burrow might kill himself. Burrow might actually just be like, I'm going to kill you, and
you are holding me back.
Fine with it because I'm Joe Burrow.
If you're not fired, I'll murder you myself.
Yeah,
Joe Burrow's going to lead the league in passing and not make the playoffs. It's insane.
No, here's what he'll do. He'll go grab Zach Taylor's fingerprints and just put him over everything that got stolen and be like, it was him. That's how I get rid of him. He's the one who's been doing it.
Insane.
I think Burrow might.
Burrow's house did get broken into.
It did.
I think Burrow might wait until Zach Taylor. He knows Zach Taylor is in a car with Lou Anarumo, and he's like, "I'm cutting the brakes now." But also if you're that dude, I feel bad for Joe Burrow and a little Zach Taylor too, because your owner is beyond cheap, and it's in a league where it's increasingly the dollar amounts keep going up at an exponential rate. To have that guy as an owner is such a liability, and I know a little thing about having an owner. It's a liability.
That's fair. This to me, the Bengals to me right now is the spot that Vrabel has to go to. If the Bengals want to be a genuine contender, Vrabel has to go here, and
then only draft defense in the draft.
Well, but the thing is, you let Burrow and Chase control the offense, because even with literally the worst worst defense in near history, a historically bad defense, Burrow is having an MVP season. It's just like if they were a playoff team, Burrow is the MVP favorite by far, like without question. And it's just because they suck this year. This defense is so bad that.
Can you imagine if they had Mixon too? Still,
I know, right? Oh.
Yeah.
So yeah, Cowboys Panthers. We gave Panthers a little bit too much credit.
Yeah, we overinflated them. We're like, Bryce Young's back. He's really good. He's good now.
First time Bryce Young has ever been the favorite in an NFL game, and he does this.
Well, also the first time the Panthers have been favored in like what 2.5 years.
Yeah.
So now when there's expectation,
33 games and oof.
They weren't ready for the spotlight, but I'm only saying nice things about the very competitive Cowboys team until we have to play them again in 3 weeks. And my God, if it goes the way the last game did,
oh wow,
my head's gonna explode.
I wouldn't have had you on that week for that.
I wouldn't have. I would have been like, sorry, dude, dentist appointment. Yeah, can't do
Actually, no, because that's the week we didn't that week because you were also recovering and so was I.
Yeah, we were all going through it that week.
We were all like, God, kill me.
It was the weird. My phone has never done this before, where I got like 10 congratulatory texts when Terry scored the touchdown, and then even before I had a chance to read them, the same 10 people wrote back like, "Oh, never mind." That was rough.
Patriots Cardinals. That was such a nothing game, and then
except for like, how was Kyler that bad against the Patriots?
My fantasy team wants to know.
A lot of people do.
Kyler is. I don't know anymore.
Okay, well, here's the thing. Like, Kyler, when's his out on his contract?
Next year.
Okay.
The end of next. I think. Oh, actually,
I think it's the end of next year.
Yeah, because it was 3 years, but it only kicked in last.
I think it was 3 years before the out.
Yeah, because they got him at year 3, so you do 2 free. So you got the 2 cheap years, and then 3 years after. So
right,
it might have only just kicked in this year, actually.
Well, because Gannon, remember when Gannon got hired, he went to like some Oklahoma thing that Kyler Murray was at, and it's like, oh, they're really leaning into, like, they're all in on Kyler again with this guy.
So he'll be a free agent in 29. That's when the contract runs out.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
but
they have an out in 28.
28 is the out. Yeah.
Well, okay.
Holy crap.
If he keeps playing like this, yeah, he's not gonna make it to that out.
Yeah.
Oh, and they don't even have the cap hit yet. So next year's 45. The year after is 55. Then 43. And then the final year is 46, but that's their out.
Yeah, that team has been so Jekyll and Hyde. It's hard to trust them. Like they've looked so good and they've looked so bad. It doesn't matter. Just depends on the week.
It's like again, the Cardinals are like the Targaryens. Flip a coin. That's what you're gonna get.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, Jets Jags.
How was this not a watchable game of the week?
Can I also just say real quick that the single funniest storyline in the entire world may be about to happen in the NFL because Aaron Rodgers for the last 2 weeks has looked half decent, and the Jets might bring him back, and it would be the single funniest story in the NFL.
And we can run it all back again.
They convinced themselves, oh, this is the Aaron Rodgers we thought we were going to get, so we're going to bring back the 43-year-old. Okay,
next year we'll just replay all of our talk about.
Please
Jets.
Do it. I'm begging you. Please do it. Please.
Hey. That is it. That is Enigma Zone, Aaron Rodgers.
History doesn't show this, but like I want to give him and Cousins somewhat of a break just because of the Achilles injury and the age that they got it in. But also like we can't do this again. I think he does come back to the Jets.
It's a $40 million dead cap. So
that's tough. Maybe he wants to go to San Francisco for a year, you know.
Maybe he wants to complete the full Brett Favre and go to Minnesota.
Well, that's definitely not happening.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
They don't want to go from where it's like, oh, we have a QB controversy now, rookie or Sam Darnold, and then hey, let's bring Aaron Rodgers into this somehow.
Don't forget
if if Aaron Rodgers goes to Minnesota next year and then a bunch of drones start showing up in Minnesota, you know who brought him.
All right, what's the first like meaningful game to talk about?
All right. So first one, I mean, technically meaningful because there was a news story afterwards, but let's talk about Falcons and Raiders.
This is a situation. I wish we had Nancy back for this week because this is a situation where where a win really feels like a loss.
I would have, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. That final 2-minute drive, I was like, "Oh, come on, please!"
I was rooting for the Raiders.
The single funniest thing in the entire world. It would be the single funniest thing.
It got pretty close and had a chance.
They did. And also it was Desmond Ritter against the Falcons, which just would have been even funnier. They nearly did it. They nearly pulled it off, but my God, Cousins looked awful. He was terrible in this game.
Did he throw any picks this week?
Yeah, he threw one.
He finally also threw a touchdown.
I thought it was one. Okay, yeah. So in the last 5 games, 1 pick, 1 touchdown, 9 picks.
Yep. First game he's thrown a touchdown in 5 games. So this one,
and it was wide open, so anyone could have made that throw.
Yeah.
I had such mixed feelings watching this game. I mean, it was abjectly awful, and it was one of the few games that I was like, I need to turn this off because it's actively pushing me to be a regular season hockey fan instead
brain cells are dying.
but like because my team plays the Falcons a week from Sunday. And I'm like, how do I want Kirk to look just based on what it pretends for that team going into the game against me? I also don't know if I want to see Penix because I think there's a chance that he's an adult, he's a leader, he's 25. I mean, he could just come in and be a stud right away, and that kind of scares me.
Well, and that's the thing. That's what we're talking about this game. We'll put up the graphic. Yeah, Cousins has been benched.
They did it.
Michael Penix will officially get his first starts in the NFL.
In week 6.
Yeah, but he's got to go up against that stout Giants team. So how's he going to do?
Honestly, with this, so when the Falcons signed Kirk Cousins, we thought like, oh yeah, no, this is great. They're gonna look. They have a good quarterback. The entire offense is gonna be great. Kyle Pitts is finally gonna do something with it. Damn, it's gonna be awesome. And then it was not awesome, and then they drafted the quarterback, and we're just like, why did the quarterback? We just paid Kirk Cousins 9 figures.
Why draft someone that could help you? That could help Kirk Cousins.
So then we saw Kirk Cousins play. We're like,
if you're not playing Tampa Bay, you suck.
So right now, here is the Kirk Cousins contract. If he is cut before June 1st, then it's a $90 million dead cap. If he's cut post June 1st, it's $65 million. And then, so it's $65 million that they can spread out over 2 seasons. So it's not quite as bad, but it is also not good. That also then means that they have spent, I think it's so far this year they will have spent $90 million for 13 wins. Or 13 games.
Wins.
Sorry, 13 games. 13 games.
They take 13 wins.
Yeah, they take 13 wins. But for 15 games. Sorry, 50. We're in week 15. So yeah.
It's so funny thinking about how reactionary everybody was right after they drafted Penix, and because they cut to the Falcons war room that night, if y'all remember, and it's like I think it was Raheem Morris and somebody else having a very awkward looking conversation with Arthur Blank, where he's like, "Why did you draft a quarterback? We just signed Kirk Cousins," and they were explaining something to him, and it's like they were probably saying, "Hey, dude's 36, got an Achilles. We need a backup plan. We need a quarterback of the future." They look like geniuses for that move in retrospect.
They didn't think it'd be this early.
The thing, like, they'll look like geniuses if Penix works out.
Yeah.
The problem you've got that, but they don't, because like, here's my thing. Why give him the no trade clause? That's the thing that that doesn't make any sense to me, because Cousins was not signing somewhere else. I'm sorry, no other team was giving him this contract. And if he went, I refuse to do I refuse to sign with you without a no trade clause. Well, no one else was giving you that amount of money. Just straight up, they weren't.
Okay. Gene's is overstepping, but like, here's the thing: Terry Fontenot's job right now is on the line. Like, considering like this dude, since he's been GM, like he's invested, I think, like 4 straight first rounders into the offense. The offense that just
they haven't made the playoffs.
Yeah.
He refused to invest in the defense, which keeps getting gashed week after week. Spent 9 figures on a quarterback that he is maybe cutting after this year. If Penix doesn't work out, like say next year, Fontenot's fired. Like he is fired. Like you cannot keep that guy around anymore.
There are 2 GMs right now that everything rides on their backup plan quarterback, and that is John Lynch and Penix.
Yeah, it's particularly tough for the Falcons. I understand the desire to just give the bag to Cousins simply because the Falcons quarterback situation since Matt Ryan retired has been like beyond brutal. There's been bad quarterbacks, and yeah, there's been Desmond Ritter. It's so bad. Plus, you're not. It's not like you're in this year's NFC North. All right, you've been in the NFC South, and you still can't muster a way to get to the playoffs. It's not exactly murderer's row even this year. Apologies to
they still have a chance.
I mean, like
they still have a chance.
To the point, you're right. Like the Bucs last season took their Tom Brady medicine, as in like all the dead cap that they got from going all in on the Tom Brady Super Bowl. They took all of that last season, still made the playoffs, still won a playoff game. Yeah. And this season, they're very likely going to also make the playoffs again. Like, because the South sucks so badly. It's just awful and has been awfully run by all three other teams. It's embarrassing. But anyway, we'll see what happens with Penix. I hope he does well. You're right. I
hope he doesn't do
hard to be worse.
Hope he doesn't do well
in a week. Don't do that well.
But like,
I like Penix. Like I liked watching him in college, but
theoretically he should be more ready because he's older. But
that's the other thing. He should be.
I mean, we see what Bo Nix is doing. Like this could be Bo Nix.
That's true.
Next up, Chiefs at Browns.
Oh, we believe in you, Browns.
Did we? What?
I did. Stupidly. I thought this was.
Did you believe in the Browns?
I thought this was the dumb loss. So every year the Chiefs have 3 big losses. They have the divisional one. They have the one to the Bills that mean nothing in the playoffs, and then they have the dumb one. There's one dumb one every year that you're like, how did you lose that? They lost to Matt Ryan's Colts. Like, how did you do that?
And Aiden O'Connell's Raiders.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought this would be the dumb one. It's going into game 1 of the 10-day stretch. It was like, it's a really good defense. That left tackle is horrific at the moment. I just thought that this was going to be the dumb one that we're all like,
it was going to be, but then Myles Garrett strained his uterus. They had to come out of the game.
Oh my God.
And then not only that, but then also like
Jameis turned.
Jameis turned up. The real Jameis turned up, and wow.
And DTR had to come into the game.
And look, they are dire in Cleveland when you're turning to DTR.
He's going to start next week too. If you thought
it was such a missed opportunity for Andy Reid and for the nation, because Andy Reid could have just rested Mahomes anyway and started Carson Wentz for the fun of it, and we could have gotten Carson Wentz versus Jameis Winston. That would have been such a great.
It's the Spider-Man meme. They're just pointing at each other.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Carson Wentz, during this game, Mahomes limps and the rest of the NFL yawns.
My ankle sprain. Sure.
Look, it's December. It means Mahomes is having an injury. It happens every year where my ankle hurts, and it doesn't matter because it's Mahomes, and he then I don't know. I'm tired of this narrative every single freaking year with this goddamn.
I understand the fatigue, but
so
Jesus,
this is so. I really like.
Guys,
here's the thing. Okay, I came into the NFL. Towards the end of the Brady era.
Okay.
I now get why so many people hate that goddamn quarterback, because I fucking hate him. I'm so annoyed with this goddamn quarterback. And he's great. He is a great quarterback. I can't deny how good of a player he is. I am just so over the theatrics. I'm so over everything that goes around this goddamn player.
Nothing he can do will convince you that there's no theatrics.
Yeah, I don't see the theatrics with him. There's family members that create theatrics.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
I feel like, again, like when I check the website formerly known as Twitter, or you go on social media and like you see people just ripping somebody like Chris Collinsworth because he just keeps praising Patrick Mahomes. It's like, what do you want him to say about Patrick Mahomes? Do you want him to say he's trash?
We just want him to stop talking about Patrick Mahomes.
What this guy has been able to do this year has been unbelievable with that supporting cast. Yeah. And now he has another ankle injury. I thought one of the greatest performances I've seen in sports is when he had his previous ankle injury, was clearly bothered by it in the Super Bowl, and still ripped off like a 25-yard run to help seal the deal on the last drive of the game. Like this guy, I do not make them the same mistake that I did when it was the 90s and I was watching the Bulls, and I didn't root against Michael Jordan, but you kind of get fatigued by him, and like you root for the Utah Jazz because they're the underdog. Don't make the mistake of not appreciating greatness and what Mahomes is in the time that he's living and playing. It's pretty goddamn cool for me.
Never root for the Utah Jazz, Mark.
No, I learned my lesson.
Really, really sucks when you're the Knicks while Jordan's Bulls are playing.
Well,
you're a fan of the other team.
My team is as far away from the AFC West as you could get, so like I don't care that much.
Like
it's not the Knicks. It's the Pistons. You're the
but the Pistons won one. That's the thing.
They got two.
Pistons won. Yeah, they won, and they did it before he became Jordan. We're in
the middle of the three.
Yeah, like
essentially.
Here's the thing. Not to go on. If we had won one beforehand, or we win one now, I will be able to appreciate Mahomes a lot more. I will be able to do it a lot more and be able to be like, you know what? Run 6. I don't care. Go get Brady. Go be the greatest of all time. But just give me one, please.
All you want to be,
selfishness.
All Jacob wants to be is the Houston Rockets at this point. He's like, just go play baseball and let me get my chip or two of them, and then come back and I'm playing.
Give me one, goddamn.
Give me one.
Like, Chance, at least you got 2 during Brady. All right, like, just give us one.
All right, moving on. Next game.
Yeah. Okay, hang on. She in bed? Yep. Okay.
Boy, Chargers. My God, what the hell?
Oh, boy.
Bucks really want it. The Bucks really want to go to the playoffs. That's what I learned.
What the hell happened to this defense?
This was ugly.
I mean, they were mostly playing bad teams, I feel like, the Chargers.
This was really ugly.
So the defense looked better than maybe.
Look, right now, Bucks are a good team. Bucks are a really good team, and they're looking sharp. And Baker's playing like, you actually look at the stats. Baker's top 6 in like everything. He is playing phenomenally this season. If you like, really underrated, like one of those like, oh, hang on, Baker Mayfield's here. Like, he's playing fantastic football so far. Reckless because it's Baker and that's what he does. But
you know what you call Baker right now? An adult at QB.
Yeah. There's worse things to have than an adult at quarterback. I mean, and plus Baker, you're talking about the Chiefs, how they're always good for like a random dud game at some point towards the end of the season. Baker's always good for just like a game where he looks like Joe Montana.
The best quarterback.
And so I do feel like the Bucks, and I don't even know who they play next week right now. I feel like it's going to be a comeback down to earth game a little bit, because going to Los Angeles to beat a team that looked this scary, especially defensively, that is an incredible win. And if I'm the Falcons right now, I'm this close to being like, you know what, just take the division. We clearly don't want it as bad as you do.
Clearly not, because you couldn't capitalize when they had like 2 of their biggest weapons out.
Yeah, it's Cowboys. It's Cowboys on Sunday Night Football, so you might not like.
Baker might show up again because it's prime time and it's bright lights. He shines under the bright lights.
But Bucks.
He's been fun to watch though. It's been he's been a great story. The Bucks have been a great. I saw them in person opening day, and Baker again looked like freaking John Elway, and I'm like, is this just our defense being bad? And I think it was. Honestly, it was a combination of both, but like he really looked in control, and that team loves that dude. And you cannot underestimate how important that is when you get really into the trenches of the season or like late in the fourth quarter. They have that dude's back.
Trust me, as the biggest Baker fan on this panel, I'm feeling so vindicated right now because I was the one pushing. I was pushing so hard for that contract. I went, he's getting this, and it's going to be worth it, and that's what he deserves. And this one I'm glad I was vindicated on, because there's a lot of other things I was not vindicated on.
You're really big ones you were not vindicated on, but
every now and then he strikes gold.
Yeah, every now and then. Chargers, huge game Thursday for them, like absolutely massive.
Oh, massive.
You don't want to fall out of
Well,
it.
considering like right now, as the playoff stands, we are looking at divorce bowl in round 1 of the playoffs.
Well, yeah. But then the thing is, like, it's not panic stations yet, because their final 2 games are the Patriots and the Raiders, 2 teams that don't want to win, just straight up don't want to win games right now. So, like, it's not all they got to do is win one of them, and they basically guarantee themselves a playoff spot. So not complete panic stations yet. They lose one of them, then it's going to start being panic station. But yeah.
I think the Harbaugh factor takes care of those last.
I think it
Yeah, they'll definitely win one of the last 2.
Yeah.
No idea what happens on Thursday, because you always pretty much throw out the records when a Thursday night game happens. Even though we've been treated to a couple really good ones this year before, whatever that they call that game last week.
Whatever that happened.
Yeah. So I hope it's a good game. I'm excited. I'm amped for a really good clash on Thursday.
Sure.
Yeah.
That was next.
All right.
Speaking of the Broncos.
Yeah, speaking of the Broncos.
Oh. They were losing this game the whole time. And then Jonathan Taylor.
Well, and then Jonathan Taylor Jonathan Taylor's getting.
How does he do that?
Multiple times this year.
No, but how does
I
get rookies doing it? I get maybe defensive players.
But Jonathan Taylor's a vet. How's he doing this? I don't get.
I don't.
But everyone's giving Jonathan Taylor the crap, which absolutely 100% deserves.
He did own up to it. But yeah.
No. The interception, the freaking
the
interception getting so under the radar, and then that one's
terrible.
just like, oh yeah, thank God Jonathan Taylor did what he did, because this was worse. Oh my God.
The Taylor thing was the turning point, and then
everything just. I can't remember his name, but he came out.
It was Nick Bonito.
And in his press conference afterwards, I got told if it's open to throw the ball. I threw the ball. It was open.
No, that was Donnie Mitchell. Donnie Mitchell threw
Yeah, Donnie Mitchell was like, it was open. I got told to throw the ball. I didn't see him. It's like, well,
maybe that's why you
that's not your job.
That play gets worse and worse when you watch it again and again. And unfortunately, the only sports ball I have right now is a basketball, but it's the same principle. He caught it, and like a shooter in basketball, if you have time, you readjust to where you like your fingers in the grooves.
Yo.
That's what he did so bad. He's like, let me find the laces real quick.
I got time, right? They don't expect this.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding. Not since the 2-point conversion in the Giants Steelers game, but I've seen such hilarity on the football field.
Really bad.
But yeah, this was bad. But again, look, Bo Nix did not look good. Bo Nix did not look good, and that's kind of tapered. Them winning this because the Colts decided, here, everyone else, you have the game, has really tapered over how both of these quarterbacks look terrible. Actually, the Colts probably need to move on and find someone. I don't know what they're going to do, because Anthony Richardson's not it. Bo is learning.
He was mostly good before this, but yeah.
And look, bad game's bad game.
Problem is, Bo's gonna be falling off at the exact wrong time.
I'm interested to see him bounce back, because he looked really good
bad games
in a national window. Granted, it was the Cleveland Browns, but he looked like a guy fully in control of that offense. He was making some killer throws, some great quick decisions, and then he has a game like that. So I'm very interested to see how the conversation surrounding him goes forward, because he was just going to be like, can the Broncos do anything with a rookie? And maybe it's Sean Payton can work some magic. And then he had a couple of weeks where it's like, I don't know who the rookie of the year is. And then you go back to that game, and it's like, what can this guy do in the playoffs? I think it's going to be a quick exit for Denver once they get in. But I do give him a lot of credit, because he's having a much better and splashier rookie season than anybody.
That's
much better than anyone.
I'm a big critic of Bo Nix.
So
I'm playing well.
I'm getting very, very, very big Mac Jones vibes from Bo Nix.
Don't say that, honey.
I'm getting big. Hey, I made the fucking Pro Bowl in my rookie season, and then just fell off a cliff because I had a legendary head coach, and nothing after that.
Mac Jones never had Sean Payton, though.
No, he didn't. And
he had Matt Patricia.
But that's like
And
that
Joe
is
Judge.
my
Don't forget
that
Joe
is my
Judge.
fear, not
And Josh
fear,
McDaniels.
because I mean it is kind of my fear because Broncos played the Chiefs and I don't want them to just have 2 free wins every year. But like that's kind of my thing with Bo Nix is just like I don't know. I've seen this story and I saw it at the Patriots and I just
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. Like I thought when he was drafted, I thought Bo Nix was gonna be Paxton Lynch 2.0. Now
He's
like
not bad.
okay, he's playing really well. Maybe I'm
Yeah,
wrong
he's better
about
than
that. He's like could he be Mac Jones 2.0? Where he had like this great rookie year and then he falls off a fucking cliff after
So I just
that.
think he's one of those. He has really high floor. Like his worst game isn't going to be like his worst. This was one of his worst games, and it wasn't horrific.
Right.
But he doesn't have a ceiling. Like he has a very hard ceiling. Like it's
Right.
it's and it's not great. So
Browns are probably just hoping everything else around him is good.
Yeah.
And then
anyway,
maybe
speaking of not a very high ceiling, Dolphins at Texans.
Neither
Which
of these
team?
have a high ceiling. Being really
yeah,
honest.
neither.
No, Texans are a
Yeah,
one.
I don't know who you're talking about.
I'm talking about Tua. Like the single greatest.
Okay,
Like
yeah.
my favorite thing in the offseason all year was that Tua got his contract because cool. Bills are owning this division for the next decade, and I'm just so happy right now. And then Drake May happened, and now I'm a little terrified because he looks good, and I'm a little concerned about Drake May with a decent O-line and
more
weapons.
weapons. Yeah.
I think you'll be fine for a couple of years.
Yeah, I think we're going to be
It'll
fine
take a
for
while
year.
for Drake May to get to that point.
Yeah, I think we'll be
Team
okay
to
for a
get
few years, but yeah, the Jets being the Jets and the Dolphins, and Tua's got a very hard ceiling, and
Yeah.
Not as hard as the crown of his head, though.
Jesus Christ.
and as I
It's like I think about this a lot because I book a lot of flights. I fly a lot, and every time before you check out, you have that thing where you can click if you want to buy insurance for the flight if something's going to happen. And I usually don't do it because I usually know what the thing
money.
is. But like, if you're Mike McDaniel, this is one flight that you booked with Tua. You should have clicked the insurance button, dog, and you should have got somebody else to back him up because, I mean, and they got rid of their best backup, Mike White, right?
Yep.
And it's like the one guy who maybe could have gone in and started a game or two for you.
It's Skylar Thompson, ain't it?
Tyler Hunt.
No.
They threw in.
And they acted like, oh no, he's great in practice. He's just going to plug right in. It's like, what are you thinking?
Look, at the start of the season, I said Mike McDaniel's in trouble, and I think that the Tua contract is going to come bite him in the ass, and then also like I think he's definitely on the hot seat. He won't be this year. It won't happen this
Next year,
yes.
Next year's it, and
Mike McDaniel's got to start beating some good teams. Like he's 3-15 against teams with teams with winning record.
And those three, I think one of them was the Cowboys in that like year where they couldn't beat a good team either.
That was last year.
Last year, where it was like one of you guys has to technically lose this game. So, and then the other two are like they were good teams they were winning records when they beat them, but then they ended up having losing records or something.
Yeah. It's a deceiving stat.
They can't play in the cold, and McDaniel, as well as a coach, shows how uncomfortable he is in cold weather. Like we didn't talk about it much last week, but you saw how freezing he was. And it makes the rest of the team go, oh yeah, it's cold. It's really cold. And we play.
He spent all that time in San Francisco. He's not used to it.
But that's like, I don't know. I just don't think I think he's picked the wrong team to be the head coach of. Honestly,
I think it seemed like a great idea, and he had so many toys to play with when he got there. But
there's been some highlights. So, yeah.
I think he does have some ability as a head coach, and I root for the guy. But there is a lot that is telling me this season he's a little like Cliff Kingsbury as a head coach, where you are nobody's going to question that you have a really really solid offensive mind, but are you able to do all the other things as well as a head coach in the NFL needs to do to keep the job? So that's what I'm like. I think they'll keep him, but it's going to be very interesting. I do want the Dolphins to play more cold weather games because Mike McDaniel is so adorable when he's all bundled up. He looks like a third grader on a snow day. He looks
like Ralphie's brother from A Christmas Story.
Yeah, he looks like everybody's little brother. It's so cute.
I can't put my arms down.
And underneath those snow pants, he's still got his sleeves, his leg pants rolled up a little bit.
And on the other side of this, Texans, they're not good. Like they
First round exit.
Yeah.
No, Texans. We had such high hopes for this team coming in, but they ain't reached them.
Congratulations, Ravens, on your playoff win in week 1.
They're gonna do what the Texans always did when they had bad quarterbacks, and they get into the playoffs, and then it's the worst playoff game. They're always the first game on Saturday, wild card weekend, and just get it over with. But I still look at this team, and I really can't tell what the major flaw is. They look like they have a lot of little holes, but
interior O-line.
They need to spend a first round pick on a lineman.
That defense scares me too, though.
Oh,
as far as I can't trust them.
We'll get to it when we talk about the game, but I'd be very worried if I'm the Chiefs this weekend against that with this defense, because that's a concern of this defense is really good.
Can be really good.
Yeah. Well, yeah, can be really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Texans' main flaws are O-line and second half adjustments, because they are the worst second half adjustment team I've seen this year.
Yeah.
And, their other big problem, and he's not playing for the team right now because he has an ACL, but hey, you brought...
Jacob just wants to blame Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, we won that trade. We won that trade. I just want to say we definitely won that trade.
By virtue of injury, yes, he did.
Like everyone when it happened was all like, this is the end of the world, the Bills are going to suck, and we just straight up won that trade.
Yeah, and anybody who's ever been in a toxic relationship out there, I feel like what Jacob's doing his best to do is take the high road, and that's what everybody out there should do. If you broke up,
is he taking the high road?
If he went to somebody, I think he's doing his best. I'm not saying he is. I think
he's doing his best. He's trying.
Doing his best. Take the high road and just let them live with Stephon Diggs and be like, okay, good luck. I'm moving on.
Yep. All right. Next, move on to Bears at Vikings.
This was gross too. Okay,
it was.
Monday Night Football, when they do 2 games, I'm just going to go to the movies. It's never good.
Yeah,
I said it before. I'll say it again. I don't understand why someone would choose to be a Bears fan. I really like. If you're from Chicago,
especially if you're grandfathered in, then I get it.
Yeah, that's why there's so many of them.
Choose that for your life if you're not from Chicago.
They're all going to be miserable, and I have a bone to pick with Bears fans that I'm not ready to lay my sword down. But the crap that Bears fans were aiming at everybody, particularly Commanders fans, early in the season, where Jaden was having a really good run and Caleb was sort of figuring it out. And they were trying to spin stats and say, no, yeah, Caleb this. Caleb may well end up being the best quarterback in the NFL going forward. I still think he's a stud, okay? But they were so concerned and they were so butthurt by everything Jaden was doing. And Washington fans were just like, dude, we're happy with our guy. We're focused on our dude. Worry about your own house. Like,
are you happy with yours?
They were such babies. They were such babies.
You got yours, though. You got yours.
They deserved what happened to them during the Hail Mary is what I'll say, because there were babies leading up to that.
That's what Ellis came on here to really say.
Yeah. And I have a buddy who shall remain nameless, who is in a prominent TV role on a certain network, and he's a big Bears fan, and just like could not possibly think about the fact that maybe you just didn't do enough in your own house with your own team versus everybody else is just the world is against you. The world's not against you. The Bears just shot the bed.
That's the weird thing, though. They did. Like, they went out, they got DJ Moore. They got fucking Keenan Allen. They got
Adunze now looking like a really dumb pick.
No. Adunze was like
a luxury pick that they didn't need.
A luxury pick that they didn't need.
Khan's exactly right. That's hitting the nail on the head.
You need to draft linemen or
especially given
imagine if you drafted like Caleb and
it was Hufanga.
Fashanu.
Yeah.
Or Hufanga.
Yeah, but they were both there. They were both there and available for him to grab, and they did.
Flashy pick. Yeah.
They did. They went flashy pick, and that's Like that's a problem, guys. That's a
we
big
might
problem.
talk about it later. If so, feel free to punt this to later on in the show. But like, where do the Bears go to find a head coach? Because if you're saying Vrabel anywhere else, I still think Vrabel is the best hire for the Bears. I'm not saying it's the best job for Vrabel, but if I'm the Bears, I don't care about offense or defense head coach. I want somebody who can come in and command the locker room and change the culture, very similar to what Dan Quinn just did with my team.
That's fair. Like I do think that they would benefit from an offensive-minded coach, which is why I think like Ben Johnson would be a good hire for them. I think they get Joe Brady from the Bills.
Terrified of it.
Joe Brady, don't do that.
I did the post OC season. Actually, okay, that's why. Sorry, okay, that's why I think it has to happen because you want like I lived through it with when we lost Daboll. That season afterwards, when we lost Daboll, Allen wasn't the same. He was throwing really dumb picks. He regressed back into his early thing because we had a really bad OC. Like we didn't make the OC hire correct, and then
Dorsey, right?
Dorsey, yeah. I forgot his name. But like,
so bad.
We shall not be named.
Yeah, forget that name. We had Dorsey, and he wasn't a good OC, and so Allen regressed, and you don't want that with Caleb. I think we've seen so far this season when Caleb doesn't have enough talent to overcome a bad OC, and if Vrabel doesn't make the right hire, which again we saw that at the Titans when they weren't making the right OC hires, especially with Tannehill, he weren't able to overcome that, and that's my concern. If you're the Bears, you want an offensive-minded head coach who's going to be there forever because the Bears, they know defense. The culture and the team know defense well enough that, as in like the head office and everyone involved, you need someone to come in with an offensive mind who can just go, all right, I'm going to sit here with Caleb for the next 15 years as my guy because you're going to be tied to Caleb for the next. Like whatever coach they hire, you are tied to Caleb. Caleb is your quarterback for the next 3 years, no matter what. You need to be able to be like, all right, I can get the best out of him, or at least I can find out if I can get the best out of him. And that's
why I get a culture builder. And all apologies to Ben Johnson or to Cliff Kingsbury, who I'd like to keep, but it's like, do not go there. Don't hire somebody who's new to head coaching, but even if they're an offensive genius, because if you can get an offensive genius like a Joe Brady or somebody else, you want them in that building just to work with Caleb. You do not want them worried about all the other stuff that a head coach has to deal with. So
you're the head coach.
Well, and if I'm a Bears fan, like Cliff Kingsbury terrifies me because that feels like a
terrifying one. You do not want Kingsbury. That's like that is the genuine terrifying hire. Like if tomorrow we hear or not tomorrow, but like, you know,
at the end of the season,
there's two tweets that I can see coming at some point from Adam Schefter, which is the Bears have hired Cliff Kingsbury, or the Bears have rehired Matt Nagy. They're the two I can just see coming, and there's no way.
There is no freaking way that they hire Matt Nagy.
They're just. I don't know.
If they hire Cliff Kingsbury, you're going to have two upset franchises.
That's fair.
On the Vikings,
I think Kingsbury as an OC is very good. I don't think he's a good head coach.
Stay in your lane.
Yeah, and there's nothing like wrong with that. You know, you try to be a head coach. You got hired. You took the money. You're an offensive genius. Just sit in a room, draw up plays, and have fun with your new quarterback that you can ride with for another decade.
It's like Josh McDaniels. Sorry, Josh McDaniels. I think Josh McDaniels is an extremely good OC and extremely talented at offense. But he is an awful culture builder, and he cannot run a deep, and he cannot be the head coach. Correct. He just straight up can't. And it's also the best OC or DC to hire is someone who has failed at being a head coach, because no one's ever going to go grab him. That's like, it's because for the opposite role that you as a head coach do, the best DC or OC to grab is someone who has flamed out massovely as a head coach, because
then they can just
no one is grabbing him.
Yeah, yes.
It also makes it easier for the head coach when you're in those coaches meetings and the offensive or defense coordinator gets fired and it's like, oh yeah, how'd that work out for you?
Conversely, on the side of the Vikings, like they just continue to look good, like weirdly
tied
good.
now with the Lions for the best record in the
I know you're not going to like to hear this, but yeah, Kevin might be coach of the year.
Oh,
Like,
I
He's got a
don't
good
mind
taste.
it. Like,
like
really
it's
good
between
taste.
him and Tomlin at this point, but yeah,
I think DQ. I think DQ is being a homer, but I think DQ is in the conversation.
DQ's in the DQ's in the
But
conversation.
O'Connell has the
I
most
will- I
wins
will
out of all
agree.
of them.
Yeah,
I will agree DQ is in the conversation.
O'Connell has done an incredible job with Sam Darnold, who is considered damaged goods, and the fact that they actually are not in a terrible spot to win the conference because of how banged up Detroit is, and they are playing Detroit the last game of the season, and like that could the
Can you imagine the
playoff
Vikings
is
with the 1 seed?
very a lot of interesting scenarios in the NFC.
Vikings are the only team in the NFC. Oh, sorry. Vikings and the Lions, the only two teams in the NFC right now who control their own destiny for the 1 seed.
Yeah.
Completely.
Mhm.
Like both of them can get the 1 seed.
The season was supposed to be a write-off. They're about to get
Right?
the
Like,
ones.
it's insane. Like,
Yeah.
what the Vikings have done this year is incredible. Justin Jefferson just,
And they're healthy. Yeah, they're healthy. They're much healthier than Detroit.
yeah, that's the
So
other thing.
that's
They are a
the
lot
big
healthier. And again, look, Flores deserves a head coaching role. I don't know if he's going to get one, but Brian Flores should be a head coach again at somewhere in this league.
He's done a
great for the
phenomenal
Vikings.
job.
He has done what he has done with this defense is phenomenal. I don't think he does because
lawsuits.
because of lawsuits, but like
It's better for the Vikings then
deserves
if they
it.
can keep him.
just they're Vikings
Scary.
again. If they're the 5th seed, you don't like.
You don't want to play.
Yeah, they could drop too, and nobody wants to see that
No
team.
one.
Yeah, like if they're the 5th seed, RIP either Bucks or Rams or Seahawks,
Seahawks.
whoever is that 5th seed,
Mhm.
and then whoever's the number 1 seed. Congratulations, your first game as the number 1 seed is most likely against
The
these
Vikings.
guys. Like, congratulations, you get to play that again after a bye. Good luck. So yeah. All right, moving on. Packers at Seahawks, our Sunday night game.
yeah, look, Geno Smith wasn't playing great, but
This could have been
Sam
good.
Howell, good God.
You see why Sam Howell's a backup.
Look, Sam Howell wasn't a great quarterback for us last year, but he had guts. He stayed in the pocket. He was tough. He made some real NFL level throws. Like, he was a tough dude, and I got behind him and I rooted for the guy. And so when he came in, I was like, "Come on, Sam! You do like I'm a lifelong fan of that dude for how hard he played for us last year. That was."
I mean,
rough,
yeah,
man.
that's not the situation you want to
he-
go into. But yeah,
It's so bad. I actually was like, you know what? Maybe Eric Bieniemy is a better offensive coordinator than we gave him credit for last year.
that-
turning Sam Howell into something confident.
So that was my big take last year. Is I thought Sam Howell would be good because they got Eric Bieniemy and that was my big hot
For a
take
stretch,
last
he was
year.
good.
I thought
Was.
it would work, and that didn't.
Wasn't he also
Sam
the
Howell
most
did.
sacked quarterback? Which
He was.
played itself out here as
He
well.
took a lot of sacks, but the bigger issue for me on that Sunday night game was I know John Ryan, the punter, a little bit. He's a super cool dude, and he was so excited to get to do the 12th man thing,
Yeah,
And I'm like, this stadium is going to be rocking. This is going to be epic. There's been a lot of great Seahawks Packers games in the past. The Packer fans were so loud. They were so present right from the get-go in that game before it started to become a blowout. I was amazed at how the Seattle fans they just did not show up like you expect them to do at that field.
and it's not even a like if this was a write-off year for the Seahawks, I'd maybe understand that.
Yeah,
Like
they
if
were
the
in the
Seahawks
lead
were like
in the division.
3-13 at this point, or what, like they were just a bad team and they were done. I'd maybe
You control
understand.
your destiny.
Yeah.
They do. They controlled their destiny at that point. Like it was a win and you're in. Like, and you're right. Packers fans completely owned that stadium, and it was weird. It was just. It was. Yeah.
It
You
was
know,
fully
Packers
lost.
fans
Like
knew
a
how
Packers
well
fan.
they knew how well they were going to play. It was almost like they knew that they were going to kick their ass. So like, this is going to be worth the trip.
And then the
for us.
Seahawks fans fully lost faith when Geno left. So,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
You also got to feel really shitty for the Packers. Like, you're 10-4. You'd be first place in most divisions
you're-
of football.
Yeah.
But you're playing in the North.
Yeah. You not only that, you're going to be the 6th seed. Like that's your bet. Like you're the 6th seed, maybe depending on Washington, maybe the 7th. Like, and you could be 12. You could legitimately end the season 12-5 and be the 6th seed. Like that's just ridiculous. So yeah, I
same thing we were saying about the Vikings though. Like the Packers, even if they're the 7th seed, you do not want to be the 2 seed welcoming them into your building. Weekend.
Not easy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, we saw that. I mean, if it's the Eagle, if we get that rematch again, like Eagles Packers,
that's a good game.
in week 1 of the playoffs. Like, yeah, you don't want that. That's straight up. I don't want to touch that, especially So, or I mean, hey, if it's Lions Packers again, like the one seed this year, like
it's so valuable.
It is, but it's really valuable. But then it's also a double-edged sword because no matter what, you're then playing one of these teams because they're most likely winning their wild card game. So, yeah, like starting to feel like there just isn't a safe seed. I mean, maybe the 7th seed just be like, you know what?
No
we won a game and we're happy and bye. Like,
no one's expecting much, so
we made the playoffs. We're just kind of happy. But bye. All right. Speaking of the 7th seed, if that's what they do end up getting, Commanders at
the main event.
How'd we feel, Mark?
I had no words immediately after that game. But I had a lot of emotions, and it's one of those things where you're overwhelmed emotionally. You don't know what you're feeling at the moment. If I take a minute, I step back. I think that is Darren Rizzi. I think is the Saints head coach, the interim head coach. He did something that you could consider borderline genius if he did it on purpose, which he didn't. But starting Haener in the first half. And we've seen this before. We're all football fans. We've seen this before where whoever started the game is playing like crap. Then the backup comes in and you haven't prepared for the backup. And they just, I'm on a Commanders text chain with a bunch of my commie friends. And I was telling them, I was like, we do not want to see Spencer Rattler in this game because Spencer Rattler is a wild horse. He is a loose cannon. He can throw 4 touchdowns and he can throw 4 interceptions in the same game. He can do both of those things. He's the new Jameis Winston, and New Orleans got him again. And he came in, and we just looked gassed in the second half. So there were also a lot of near misses with Jaden and Terry barely missing.
Terry McLaurin had like 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, so like I'm not losing a ton of sleep over it, but it was if we had ended up losing that game, I would have had a really big chance. Might have gotten a text. Chance might have gotten a text where, "Hey man, I'm out this week. Sorry, find somebody else.
I can't recover."
Like, I will admit, like, and I know people like you play the result, and a lot of people go, "Oh, why'd you take the 2-point conversion?" Even though, like,
their season's over. They're just going for
1,000% the right call.
It was. In that moment, it's 100% the right call. You had to do that, and I know because if you play for overtime, you're losing that game. It's just straight up. You're losing that game.
You're going to lose that game. And when we were lining up, they went to commercial when it looked like we were going to kick our field goal, the 54-yarder that we ended up missing. I on the text chain, I told my boys, I was like, if we miss this, they're going to take the ball down the field. And if they score a touchdown, they're going for 2. No question. It was the right decision to make for the Saints. And that was as close to winning that game as they would have gotten. And it was frighteningly close. And then on top of that, you have that officiating crew, which
this wouldn't even happen.
Dude, I don't know how you let them officiate a game the rest of the season with how bad they were. Not with a couple big calls.
They stopped the clock.
That's ridiculous. That was ridiculous. Like, just straight up, just stop the clock. The play clock's still going. Hang on, whoops, we hit the wrong button. How do you not just go, okay, hey, going back?
This could be exciting. Let's stop the clock.
You look, and then Commanders fans would be pissed because it's like, oh, you gave them a little bit extra time to be able to like talk and figure it out. But it's like, but at least we got the clock actually going correctly. Like,
just play a fair game is all we want. Like, I mean, I will say on the Commander side of things, I think that any faith that people might have had at the beginning of the season or through his incredible record-setting stretch with Jaden Daniels, that was ratified by the way that guy played. That dude is the reason why we won that football game. He was the difference in the game because he made a couple very tricky first downs, with his legs. He made a couple incredible throws, and not the splashy ones that he threw. He threw a couple nice touchdowns to Terry. He threw a ball to Jameson Crowder in the second half. There was a key first down, and that thing was a rocket. This dude has every tool you could possibly want in an NFL quarterback, and he's only ascending. He did take too many sacks, and I trust him now to be the kind of player who gets into the facility, first guy in there Monday morning, and is looking at how can I take less of those. And I mean, I already believed in the guy as my quarterback of the future and loved him. I feel even more confident in that, even after a tight win like this.
Since the rib injury, he's looking better. It's like, oh, okay, that's actually like he's getting better from it. Again, that's always been my biggest concern with Jaden was the dude's tiny. Like he's tiny.
He's not tiny. He's thin.
He's built
for an like. Sorry, yeah, that's what I'm like. Sorry, he's
Tyler's tiny.
He's got the like yeah. Bryce is the short one. He's not short. He's very very like. He does not weigh a lot and does not have a lot of muscle, and I'm very terrified that he's going to get snapped like a twig at some point. Jesus. But like. That's my only concern with Jaden, because I think he's an incredible player. I think, as much as Chance hates him, he's absolutely fantastic.
Why do I hate Jaden Daniels?
Young man, go to your room.
Because of ASU.
Okay, he doesn't claim ASU, so he's okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Even so, that's why you hate Ayuk, even though like that's the whole thing that they were ASU buddies. But all right.
Okay.
Well, no. Like Ayuk never left. That's the reason he's still evil. Jaden Daniels at least had the sense to see the light and go anywhere else.
That's what he said. He's like, look, man, Chance Ellison, his friendship just means too much to me. I gotta take my talents elsewhere.
He went, Chance Ellison, so I have to go where Joe Burrow won his.
You got to go be a better quarterback than Joe Burrow, which is not hard to do. So go and do that. Okay. Be a less bitchy quarterback than Joe Burrow, which is again not hard to do.
Fair enough. Speaking of, Chance, I'm gonna rip this Band-Aid off.
Oh yes.
Okay. So yeah, okay. This is the beginning of our also 11-day stretch where we have 3 games. Not the start we wanted.
No.
Not the start we wanted. A couple of things contributed to this loss. Contributed to us losing. First of which is injuries ahead of time and during the game. Like before the game, we got word that George Pickens was not playing. Aside from that, though, that's already a big loss for the offense. He's literally our best receiver. Aside from that, though, we had Deshaun Elliott and Larry Ogunjobi, 2 of our starters on defense, also out for the game. So, yeah, coming in hobbled, but we were doing all right. What lost us this game was a couple things. One, self-inflicted wounds. Bad penalties at inopportune times. Like, there was a drive where we got, I think, in the 5, and then we picked up a personal foul, which should not have been called. I mean, that should have been offsetting.
That was the one that should have been offsetting. Yeah, that was dumb.
If that was offsetting, I would have let that slide. But like to call 2 flags both on the Steelers, I'm just like, no. And look, I get it. Like again, like call a fair game, but also like I understand you're on the road, so possible environment. I get it. It's fine. But like, don't take up those.
They reviewed it. Like it was reviewed, and they saw the Eagles player literally punched him first. So anyway, fair enough.
Yeah, like again, that totally should have been offsetting. But even then, like we had some bad penalties put into like bad yard situations. What really lost us this game, world? One, Eagles dominated time possession.
Yeah,
like they nearly doubled the time we held the ball. Like in the second half, we had 11 plays. 11 plays the entire. We got the ball.
None in the last 11 minutes of the game.
I didn't realize that when it was happening. Then I was watching highlights, and it's like, Mike Tomlin decides the punt, probably the right move, and you pin him inside the 5 or whatever, and then they never touch the ball.
There's the ball again. What? And that's the thing. Like,
that means that Saquon is doing what Saquon does in the fourth quarter, which the first time my team played in Philly, we were hanging with them for 3 quarters, and then Saquon did what he's doing to every team. But also, the Steelers had to face the best version of Jalen Hurts. There's bad Jalen, there's good Jalen. That was the best version of Jalen.
It's motivated Jalen.
The thing about this one that was so weird.
It wasn't Saquon.
Yeah, it wasn't Saquon. You shut down Saquon pretty much.
Like Saquon until the last half of the game, like didn't really do anything.
But this is the thing that Yeah. Anyway, we'll talk about when we talk about the Eagles because
But yeah, the one thing that kills us though, because like we were down, I think 17-3 at one point. Russell Wilson, I will give him credit. Like second quarter, he brought us back into contention. We were down by 4 points. Then third quarter, we had a drive. We were going down the field, and then Najee Harris, who I've been a big fan of,
really bad fumble,
had a very uncharacteristic fumble. Like keep in mind, Najee Harris has. You can count the amount of fumbles he's lost on one hand. Dude hadn't had a fumble all season, and he had his first at the worst possible time.
Technically, he didn't even get credit with the fumble. It was Russell Wilson because he
did it. Yeah, like that fumble completely changed the game, and the Steelers
that ended the game. That one
ended the game.
Yeah. Look, Russell Wilson. I agree. Yeah, your analysis was pretty much spot on with what happened. One more thing
I forgot to mention. Defense was the problem in this game. Mostly in the form of tackling. Like there were situations where we totally could have gotten off the field on third down, but we just had people over pursue or miss a tackle or not wrap up, and they just getting gapped at first downs. Like we just could not. We were not a sound tackling team today, and that's why we lost.
The concern the Steelers have, and again, it's actually not that bad of a concern in the AFC because you're one of the best run defenses in football. You guys stop the run incredibly, and you really load the tackle. Like you managed to stop both Saquon and Derrick Henry this season. You're the only team that's really been able to do it. The way to beat the Steelers is over the top. The benefit you've got in the AFC is there's not really that many
teams that
super talented wide receivers that can do it over the top. And that's how you beat the Steelers. That's the concern going forward, is especially given the potential injury that happened in this game.
Yeah.
It seems like TJ Watt's fine.
Now, look, I've been the Eagles fan on this show somehow.
But if you hurt TJ Watt, my dear TJ Watt.
If you hurt my TJ and he's not playing the rest of the year, I wish nothing but bad days on Lane Johnson and the Eagles. Lane Johnson, by the way, was holding TJ Watt nearly every play. Never got a holding call. Never got a single holding call.
Karma.
Held him to the point where he twisted his ankle and he was out the rest of the game. Once he went down, I was like, crap, we're going to lose. We were going to lose.
At that point, you stop caring about that game. At that point, you stop caring about winning the game.
About TJ's well-being.
You want his family to take him to Dick's Sporting Goods and get him some smiles and make sure he's ready to play the next game, because this game was not that. At the end of the day, I don't think it's going to affect the Steelers season that much going.
That's the thing. In these next 3 weeks, we were going to drop a game. This was the one to drop because it has the least amount of bearing implications. And because the Dolphins and the Colts lost, we've already locked the playoff spot. We are going to the postseason.
Next,
where we're going to be seated.
We'll be talking about your biggest game of the season in about 10 minutes. And that is your single biggest game of the year, and it's the only one that matters, and it's the one on Saturday.
It's funny how you think talking about the Bills game will take 10 minutes, but okay.
But yeah, it's on the other side of the ball, Eagles.
I'm sorry. The main reason we lost is you, Jacob.
What did I do?
It's your fault.
What did I do?
You motivated them. You
motivated them.
Yeah.
And they decided to take it out on my team. I've been their supporter on this show.
Which one of the three of you?
They're great.
Which one of the three of you was the most down on the Eagles when it
looked like
they might? Yeah, I mean that team is so weird to me because they look freaking scary right now, and they may come back down to earth when they come to Washington this weekend.
So
I don't know, but
what you're saying, Jacob, is they look better than a 6-win team.
Yeah, I was.
Oh no, Jacob!
I was 6-11. I had him 6-11 and missing the playoffs. I had him as one of the worst teams in football, and Sirianni getting fired. It was my biggest hot take because I was like, I didn't think Saquon was going to do this. I really didn't. I didn't think Saquon would be this. I thought,
Sirianni would mess it up.
Hey, we just lost our Hall of Fame, one of the greatest players of all time center. I think our O-line's not going to be very good this year.
I was with that. I cannot believe that they're playing as well as they did with Jason Kelce. That shocked me.
And look, I'm not a massive believer in Hurts. I think Hurts is really good, but I don't think he has to have a good team around him. Yeah. I think he can't be a force multiplier. I think he has to have talent around him, and I didn't think he overtly did. And I thought this defense was going to be atrocious. That was my other big. I thought the defense was going to be atrocious because again, I saw Vic Fangio on the Dolphins, and I was like, oh. Look at that Dolphins defense. It's atrocious. And Vic Fangio was the OC of that.
And he was the scapegoat because it was almost like he lost the players. And it's like, is Vic Fangio, is he just outdated now with coaching? And it's like, nope.
They gave him a good defense.
I was wrong. And I have owned it. I was 100% wrong on this Eagles team. This Eagles team is good. Saquon is incredible and is doing a lot more than I even thought he was possible for him to do. After leaving the Giants. But the biggest surprise is that defense. But then, and this just gets also to why, like, Mark, I know you're a Commanders fan, so you just have to hate the Eagles, but I hate them mostly just because, like, they're just
they never stop talking.
My God, like, Jalen Hurts, I got really annoyed. And I shouldn't have gotten so annoyed, but I actually got really annoyed at Jalen at his press conference sitting down. That's all what you guys all wanted to see, right? And it's like, dude, this whole freaking thing was your fault.
Yeah, you said the passing game.
You guys started this.
Or AJ Brown did. Yeah, AJ Brown.
Like, it wasn't a media creation, this story with AJ Brown and any of that. Like, it was 100% on the Eagles. And then you see
that's more on AJ Brown though than Jay.
Yeah, it's on AJ Brown, not Hurts especially, but it's just more like Hurts coming in and being like, "Oh, I'm going to puff my chest and blame this all on the media," and it's like, this isn't on the media. This is on you guys.
As a Commanders fan, it's annoying when they have in-house issues like that, and then they still play this crazy.
Like, they still win. Most teams have crippled them.
I still 100% think Nick Sirianni is a bad head coach, but they keep winning, and so I don't get it. I just don't get it because even in this game, you saw a player was going to deck him in the head. I just straight up.
That incident on the side.
But you know who came to say today? Big Dom.
No, it wasn't Big Dom. It was the other coach, and Big Dom saying they're going, I ain't touching him because he's bigger than me. It was so weird, and it just
every week.
Don't get it. I don't get this team because like Nick Sirianni, I don't think is a good head coach because I don't know what he does. Like his job is culture, and this culture is
weird,
really toxic, but then at the same time. They're winning, and he's got like an insanely impressive record. So I don't get this Eagles team. I really don't. I'm just wrong about this Eagles team, and I'm going to be wrong forever. I don't know what they're going to do in the playoffs. I really don't.
The scariest thing in Jacob's mind right now is a Bills versus Eagles Super Bowl, and if the Eagles win,
I don't want it. I don't want it. It is, and they will. You know, if it is an Eagles, if it is a Bills Eagles Super Bowl, Eagles will win it because we can't stop the run. We just we can't stop. We won't stop. We will not stop Saquon. And speaking of, all right,
the Bills
game of the week.
No,
game of the week. Bills line
1,000 yards of total offense.
This game was good. This game was good.
This is the Jared Goff conundrum. Jared Goff throws 5 picks and wins. Those 5 touchdowns and he loses.
You should throw 5 picks more often.
I'll talk about it from the Bills' point of view to start with. Josh Allen locked up MVP this week. It's done. It's over. Outside of a really dumb loss to either the Jets or the Patriots, because that's literally who we play going forward. Then Josh Allen is MVP. Congratulations, Chance. You were correct. 100%. I will give you that one.
God mode.
Secondly, how the hell did we lose last week to this Rams team after the performance they just had on Thursday night? I will never know, and it's going to drive me nuts. The 1 seed.
Yeah. I was at that game last week. I was at the Rams Bills game, and I got and thanks to Craig's tickets, I got a front row seat to see the way that, and if you've never seen Josh Allen or Matt Stafford for that matter, throw a football in person, it is mesmerizing. It is unbelievable the way that the ball snaps out of those guys' hands. And Allen was on another level. And the fact that that dude is cooking like that going into the playoffs, even if they have a dud game, I still think he's the MVP. And the Bills have so many issues defensively. And for him to just – they don't even break a sweat masking it because that offense is so potent right now.
I was if tickets weren't as expensive as they were last week, I was really tempted to go because it's the last time the Bills are going to be on the West Coast for 3 years at least. I'm like, I really should have gone.
It was, like even walking away, like I may have had a beer or two, but it was like, wait, who won that game? Because it was like, it was just back and forth. And, it's like, I'm blown away by Josh Allen doing everything right. We knew he had the talent. We knew he had the raw ability, but that dude is playing quarterback at a historically high level right now.
Oh, it's incredible. And it's amazing to see. And it's really fun. And I love it at the moment. Absolutely.
This game was not as close as the final score made it look. They were up 14.
I was going to say, Jacob, were you nervous in the second half at all? Because like the Lions were just doing enough to keep it vaguely interesting.
A little bit. A tiny bit.
The second onside kick.
You knew this team could.
Once the onside kick happened and we got that, that's when I started to really relax. Even when they were going down, once it got within the 2-minute warning, I went, okay, we've won. They've messed this up. Like
they're taking too much time.
They took way too like that final drive before they got like. I started to get a little bit nervous. I was like, oh God, they still have 3 timeouts. If they get a touchdown quick here, they can win this. Like that was quick. I started to get nervous then, but
it wasn't quick enough.
Yeah, they just took way.
There was 12 seconds left when they scored.
Yeah, exactly. And that's I was like, oh, okay, no, we've got this. Like,
and at the same time, I got a question. Why Dan Campbell? I mean, I get why.
I kind of got it in the moment. Probably not with 12 minutes left, but
not with 12 minutes.
Not with the new rules.
But
the new rules,
also,
I don't get.
Yeah. Also
at the same time, I do kind of get it just because
he sees
that
the defense
is wrecked.
Oh no!
I know I have to do this.
That's the thing I understand. The defense, this defense is done, and the sad part about this is it's probably going to cost them the Super Bowl run. Like this defense, I don't know.
They have to win shootouts.
I don't know if they can make
their defense is now a triage unit. That's
yeah. And when you're going up against the Eagles, when you're going up against the Vikings, like the problem is it's kind of the opposite problem that the Steelers have. This defense, they're in the conference that can beat it. Like that 100% can beat this defense, and I think they will because they've got some very high firepower offenses in the NFC right now, and that are just going to absolutely run all over it. Now, as long as Goff doesn't make the mistake, they can kind of have shootouts and make it interesting.
Yeah.
The problem you then got is as long as Dan Campbell doesn't make the 4th down mistake, and we start seeing him going for it when ideally he wouldn't have. And even he would have been conservative. And that's where, because we saw that last year in the 49ers game where he started to panic and he went, oh, hang on. And when he's playing panicked, he doesn't make the right decisions. And because this
we saw it last week too, with all the 4th downs. I mean, he looked like a kid playing Madden.
Like that,
just going for every 4th down, and it ended up working out for him then. But he's such a blackjack player, and I know a little something about playing blackjack in Vegas. And the problem with blackjack is you can play for a night or for a week or whatever, and you're up $300, $400, $500, and you feel like you're good at blackjack, and that's where it gets you. Nobody's ever been good at blackjack. There's a little bit of math that's mostly luck, and you can sit down at the same blackjack table and you can get your ass handed to you. And that's what. So he's playing with fire from that perspective. If I am one of these other top level teams in the NFC and I'm playing the Lions in the playoffs, if the one coaching decision you must make, if you win that coin toss, you take the ball. You do not defer. You take the ball, you score on that weak defense, and you make Dan Campbell make decisions from a trailing perspective.
Yeah.
Sure.
They can't be in
Mhm.
front of the game if you want to beat the Lions. That's how you
Exactly.
beat them. You be in front and
Yeah.
they have to trail. They are going to make more and more decisions to try and get back. Like I honestly I half expect now that if they get in front, if it's 7 and then they score a touchdown, they'll go for 2 because they want to get back in front. And he's just like, I need every single point I can get. And
Yep.
I think that is where we're going with the Lions and it's gutting and I feel for them because it's
This was supposed to be their year.
this was, and it goes back to
Yeah.
what he said at the end of that press conference of the Lions game, of the 49ers game. And we were all like, man, that's a bit harsh to say to the players. And he went,
This might be our only chance.
this might be it. This may have been our only shot. And it's not easy getting back here. And this could have been it. And
It's not easy for healthy teams to come back.
exactly. And they're this
And
banged
not
up.
only that, like the health bug is starting to spread to
The
the
offense,
offense
too.
side of the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
David
Montgomery.
Montgomery, one half of, I would argue, the greatest 1-2 puncher running back in football right now,
Yeah.
is injured. He's out for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
All right.
Done, gone. Like
Yeah.
it's tough because like you can't really fault them, but at the same
Yeah,
time,
it's-
it's like
bad luck.
yeah, and who knows? Like, who knows what would have happened if they made the big? Remember before the trade deadline, we were like, go get Miles, go get Max Crosby, go get someone, and just make the big splash. Who knows if that would have helped right now, or if look, Miles Garrett's hurt.
Yeah, what else? Yeah, exactly. They
Max,
would probably
Max
just
Crosby's now out for the season,
Well,
so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
Hurt.
they probably just saved themselves.
But like, so who knows? Like they yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But like,
It would be pretty cool if they did make it to the Super Bowl and
Right.
Aiden Hutchinson comes back
Can
that week. Like
come
miraculously.
back. Yeah.
that would be pretty like Willis Reed of him. That would.
oh,
be
I'm
pretty cool.
look,
That'd
my
be cool.
my
That'd be
single
cool.
biggest hope is this is the Super Bowl. The
Yeah.
unfortunate, but what I'm terrified of
The Eagles.
is that not that is that this is my biggest fear is that this is the 2018 Chiefs Rams game. Do you remember that? Do you
Oh,
remember that
54-51
game
or
where
whatever.
it was one of the
Sunday night.
greatest games we ever saw, and everyone was like, "This is the Super Bowl, guys. This is what we
And then
want for
neither
the
team
Super
makes it.
Bowl." And the Chiefs didn't make it. And
the
that's
Rams
my
did.
fear.
The Rams did.
No, the Rams did, and that's
Oh, that was the
that's
worst
my
Super Bowl,
fear.
right? It was
Yeah.
Patriots Rams. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we got we got what
No.
should have been one of the greatest Super Bowls ever in Chiefs Rams. Two of these two teams with no defense and all offense, and instead we got whatever the fuck that Super Bowl was.
Yeah.
Oh, the Snooze Bowl. I remember that one.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
terrible.
So yeah, I still think the Lions are a good team.
Yes.
I still think they're obviously they've made the playoffs. Obviously, they're a good team. I think they can win a playoff game, and I think that they can go on a run. The unfortunate reality is, I don't know if they can win the division at this point. That Vikings Lions game is very much looking like it's going to be the Sunday night football game. That's our win and you win the division, lose and you're the 5th seed and you got to go on the road the entire one. And then the unfortunate thing is Jared Goff on the road. I don't know how well he's going to do.
Well, if he's indoors, it's fine.
No, but okay. So game
Okay.
one, game 1 will be in Tampa. That one won't be too bad. Game two will be in the Vikings. So that, or either be in Vikings or Philly. If it's in Philly, I'd be a little worried.
I'd be worried. Yeah.
And then game three would be in a dome at least, most likely.
Yeah,
So-
this is a team that needs to be.
They need to be in the
Needs to have home field advantage.
Not that they
Yeah.
can't play in cold weather, but
I'd be nervous going to Tampa. If the Lions going to Tampa
Baker's
played
fooling
them
himself.
really tough in
Yeah,
the dome.
I mean,
last
Tampa-
year. Tampa played them really tough.
Tampa beat them this year. Yeah,
Tampa's the only
Yeah.
And they
Tampa's
beat
the only
them
team
this
who's
year.
beaten
They beat
both of them.
So,
Tampa's beaten both of them. They beat the Eagles and they beat the Lions.
Yeah.
So it's
but they can't beat the Falcons. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, that was the week that was. We now look forward to the week that is. This is our week 16 preview.
God.
It's not a great slate.
Thursday night.
It's not great.
Yeah, basically the loser of this one is more than likely going to get the 7th seed.
Yeah, this is the battle for the 6th seed, potentially 5th seed, potentially.
If they went out, depend.
It depends on what it depends on what happens Saturday. But the winner of this one is the winner is potentially at the 5th seed. The loser is definitely the 7th. because
Yeah.
whoever loses this game will have then lost to the winner plus lost to the Ravens. So yeah.
I think the Ravens beat both of them. So
Yeah.
Oh, okay, he's checking.
I think Broncos have got this one.
Yeah.
You're
Chargers,
picking the Broncos.
Chargers can't run the ball. That's really hard.
That's the unfortunate. That's
it's
the
putting them in obvious, like they know they're gonna pass because they know they can't run.
They've got to pass.
I'm still going Chargers. Bounce back game for the D. Give me the Chargers and the points.
I'll go
Wow,
Broncos.
and the points. Damn.
Yeah. I mean, I do like that points trick. I do think we just have more than 3. But yeah, I'm leaning Chargers also. I think Chargers are good team.
We're split.
All right.
As much as I want Divorce Bowl in the playoffs, I think that's Chargers.
Thanks, Mo.
Stunks
Always looking
for
up.
this one. Justin Herbert.
Oof.
What do you think, Jacob? Stunks or not?
It's a good defense he has to play.
Oh.
Oh wow! Oh, he did a pick up. Yeah, I say no.
I think on this, I just against this defense with no name receivers, it's like Lad can only do so much, and yeah.
Hey, Quentin Johnson keeps catching touchdowns. Come on.
I mean, Quentin Johnson's playing decently, but he's still every now and then he has that really bad game.
Let me rephrase. Stonks or not stonks? Touchdowns. Will we get touchdowns in this game?
No, I think this game's awful. I think we get
one.
I think
at least one combined.
One
There's
touchdown.
no way we
One
get
total
0.
touchdown.
I think this is a defensive game, and it is awful to watch.
I think the Chargers will be just fine. I think the Broncos are the team that struggles. And Jacob, you got 24 hours to work on your supportive husband routine.
Okay, so stonks or not stonks, Mufasa or Sonic, whichever one you're seeing today.
I'm probably gonna work.
I'm watching Sonic before I even touch Mufasa.
No, I'm not.
I would go Sonic too. You don't mess with the lore.
Sonic's getting good reviews.
Don't mess with the lore of Mufasa.
Not.
I'm not.
How is that movie a Barry Jenkins film? I just
Took the money.
soul.
He literally admitted he took the money. Okay.
I know. All right. Our first Saturday game that, for some stupid reason, is on at the same time as the college playoffs.
That's frustrating.
That's
very frustrating.
Really
no one's gonna be watching
frustrating.
this.
Especially when you could have. It's frustrating for the more so because you could have played college playoffs this weekend as well. Anyway.
Yeah. If we got like the Texans we thought we were going to get at the beginning of the season, this would have been a much more interesting game.
Yeah.
As it stands right now, honestly, that spread. I'm surprised the spread's that low, but I'm also not.
They still think
this is
Mahomes
the
is
one
not
time I
playing?
think
No,
cover.
it's flipped because it actually used to be Texans favored.
Oh,
and
so
then,
now they think Mahomes is playing.
well, because Vegas thought Mahomes wasn't playing, and
Yeah.
Vegas does not trust Carson Wentz, which
Fair.
I'm sure Mark understands exactly why.
That's why they're Vegas. Yeah.
Yep. But now that he's playing, I think a lot of this has to go. How hobbled is he? Plus, also that O-line is a problem. That O-line is a serious problem. Mahomes has
It's
been
hit once, then we're going to be holding their breath.
Yeah. Okay.
We probably
Look,
should take him out.
Texans. Daniel Hunter. Look at me.
Will Anderson.
Will Anderson. Look at me. Finish the job.
Myles Garrett couldn't do it. So.
Myles Garrett's a little bitch. He couldn't do it. I need one of you to step up and finish the job.
I think the Texans actually show up in this game, and if I don't know who I'm taking straight up, but I think the Texans cover. That's my maybe spicy take of the week. I think Texans cover.
I don't think it's that crazy.
No, I don't think it's. I don't think
It's a weird. It's a weird window. It's a Saturday game. Mahomes. I don't know how much if he's going to be played. He's going to be limited, which is smart.
How high is he going to be on Toradol?
But he's not only that, he's also they play again in 5 days. Like it's a weird window completely. So
if they're winning easily, they're going to take them out early.
Oh, both of these teams play again in 5 days.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, all four teams on Saturday play again.
But one of them, but like the Texans don't have an injury. Like, and yeah. I'm with mine. I'm going with Texans actually with this one. Maybe it's I keep picking against the Chiefs for the last like 2 weeks because I'm
It
just
never
praying
works.
and hoping. I'm just sitting there hoping and praying, can someone beat this team so I can get the number 1 seed? But I'm going Texans. I just think that O-line. I'm really, really worried about that O-line.
Both teams have bad O-lines.
Yeah.
I know, but like the Chiefs, like Mahomes being hobbled, he's going to get hit more and more. So
I'm also going Houston.
I'm a broken man. I'll take the Chiefs.
I've resigned.
Picking against them doesn't work.
Stonks for this game because I need it for fantasy. Travis Kelce.
No, this isn't the big Travis Kelce game.
God,
Yeah, the Eras tour is over, right? So now it's just
I don't think this is the big Travis Kelce game. I have a feeling it's next week. I have a feeling
on Christmas. Well, yeah, sure.
I have a feeling it's. Oh, actually, no. Sorry, I take it back. It's this game. I do take it back. It's this game because it's the only non-Chiefs game she's going to. It's the only non-Arrowhead game she's going to this season.
I need it. Ironically, I need Travis Kelce to save me from his girlfriend.
Yeah, because that's right.
I have a bet going if Bethany wins our fantasy league, I have to watch the Eras tour.
Oh, the movie.
Yes, the movie. And I would rather slide down a slide made of cheese graters, so I need Travis Kelce to go off. But yeah, Stonks not Travis Kelce.
I'm saying Stonks. Actually, I just remember that this is the game she's at, so yes, Stonks.
He's not always good when she's there.
No, but it's the only one that's not at Arrowhead, and that's so they'll make a big deal of that.
Towards not.
I would just keep an eye on Harrison Butker this game. Don't trust him.
Hey, he also missed a 20-yarder. Like Tyler Bass.
That's
He also
what
missed a
I'm
20-yarder last week.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Oh yeah, I'm next. All right. Yep. Here we go.
Oh, here we go.
I think this game is going to be dependent a lot. Well, okay, I can say it's dependent a lot on health because if we don't have T.J. Watt, especially,
yes,
or George Pickens, or Deshaun Elliott, or Ogunjobi, that's a problem.
Yeah,
that's a big problem.
I think Watt is likely. Pickens most likely not.
Yeah, I think that's the case
Watt's
too.
still going to play.
Yeah. I think Watt's a trooper. TJ's a trooper, so I do think he'll play.
Yeah, but
well, look,
you also don't want to risk it if you're playing.
Actually, no, this is the game you play.
Because the division's on the line. That's why they'll play.
Actually, I was going to say, because this is the game. Because if you play, because if you win this game, you can rest TJ for the next 2. The next 2 don't matter.
Really. No, exactly. We win this, we lock the division up.
You just got to be careful. You just don't re-injure anything.
Yeah, my lead pipe lock for this game is that next week's Hard Knocks is going to be can't miss. It's been great. The AFC North Hard Knocks has been awesome. And that point spread is just weight. I don't care how banged up the Steelers are.
Oh no, it's not going to be that.
These games are always within a point or 2 of each other.
If the Ravens wins by a field goal.
Look, you want to make if you want to make money at all, if you want to make Vegas for some stupid reason that I will never understand, don't believe in Mike Tomlin at all as a head coach. And you want to make money, bet Steelers as the underdog. You will make money. It's just I don't get it. Like I really don't. It's how I've been. I'm 60% of my picks this year because I keep doing it, and I'm just like, oh, yep, cool, all right.
But like a lot of things point, to against the Steelers, but let's not forget facts are facts. And Lamar Jackson turns into a pumpkin against this team. Doesn't matter who's on the field. He turns into a pumpkin. So you know what? The Steelers are going to go out there and they're going to sweep Baltimore and take the AFC North.
I really want to believe that. I really want to believe that.
I think the Ravens take care of business, but I think it's a much closer game than.
Yeah, the TJ Watt injury is my biggest concern. But then also Pickens not playing and Russell Wilson, who are you throwing to? And like the best part is you can throw on this defense. Like this defense is horrific, but
there's talent.
Yeah, you still need someone.
Mike Williams breakout game incoming.
I keep telling you, you got your one Mike Williams player this season, the game winner, the touchdown. You got it.
I don't want to talk. I wasn't brought on here to talk about that.
Oh, that's right.
All right.
We will find ways. We will find a way to win. Of course, all the Steelers stunks. Everybody else, not stunks.
All
Deontay
right.
Johnson definitely not playing again.
Deontay
Next
Johnson
up.
also suspended.
Excused from team activities. Crazy.
Lions at Bears.
I think the Lions
I
take out
think
their
the Bears
anger
are
on
dead
on
at this point. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I think they're gonna take out
They're
the Lions are
dead.
gonna take out their anger.
Like I actually think that the last the Thanksgiving game that they play was the closest game that they were going to play this season, and then now it's just they're mentally checked out and they're done for the season. And
I
it's
think
pretty obvious.
Caleb goes full sideways on the bench this time, and
He fully lays down.
he just stays there. That
Yeah.
the spread
At
scares
what
me a
point
little
does
bit.
he go? At what point does he go? Mark Sanchez start eating a hot dog on the sideline.
I think I can't be a football fan that's watched this season and particularly the last 2 weeks and give it to the Bears even with that spread. So I think the Lions
Even against the
win this.
battered Lions defense, there's no faith there.
Yeah,
Lions.
I actually think this is one of those like the Lions coming off the loss. This Lions defense, hearing how terrible they are all week. Being like, you know what? No, we're going to muscle up against one of the worst teams in football, and that's what they'll do. And it'll be like, oh, the Lions. And I think this will be actually like a blowout, and we'll all afterwards be like, oh my god, the Lions defense is back. It's like, no, you just played against a team that had checked out completely. So yeah,
Stunks for this one. I'm going to say Sam Laporta.
Yes.
yeah, stonks.
I think Mark's got to get out soon. So before, let's make sure we get the Commanders game before Mark has to.
All right, so Commanders game.
Eagles and Commanders. Oh,
Oof. It is at home.
I will say this about this game is that the way that seeding and everything has shaken out, this is actually the least consequential game, ironically, for I think both teams. Even though we're bitter division rivals.
This is for the division still. Right?
This is-
You more need it just for seeding and but you still basically
you're still going on a wing and a prayer that the Packers stumble. As far as seeding goes, and with this game, honestly, I want to win every game. I particularly want to beat a division opponent like the Eagles, and not just because I want to beat them, also because anytime you beat the Eagles, there is the chance that that's the game where that sideline completely implodes. Big Dom has to head coach in the fourth quarter, and it's just like a fracas. So I'm hoping for the locker room turmoil to be this game, but I really just want to come out of this game healthy. Mm-hmm. And so I think the Commanders are going to play one of their best games of the year. And it's just a matter of which Eagles team shows up. The one that has showed up for this entire run that they're on is really tough to stop. I'm going to take the Commanders point spread, and then I'll just give it a coin flip for who pulls out the victory. But I take the Commanders with the points.
I take with the points too because Washington always plays Philly tough.
Mm-hmm. The last game notwithstanding, right? The last game wasn't.
We played them tough. And for 3 quarters, and then Saquon just had worn us down. It was a tough game. It was a Thursday night game. I don't think that game is like a black mark on our season at all.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm going Eagles here just because I think that the Eagles, they know they're playing for the 1 seed. That 1 seed is very much alive right now for 3 different teams, and they'll be playing hard for it. And I think they want that 1 seed. And so, yeah, I'm going with the Eagles.
I'll agree.
Yeah. Sorry, Dad. I'm going.
You were just going with the Commanders.
You disappointed him again.
No, he's taking the spread, but he's going Eagles.
I think straight up.
Spread.
Straight up.
I take him at that spread.
You invite your friends over here. I feed your friends. I let them sleep over at my house. And this is the kind of thanks I get. All 3 of you. Dunzo. I'm calling your parents.
We're grounded.
Unfortunately, I do have to run. I got to go knock a set out where I'm going to complain about football. One new bit I'm working on. You'll see it soon. You guys are great. You guys are so good at this. And not just because you don't open every A block of your show with what's going on with the Dallas Cowboys. Thank you for that. I will eternally be thrilled that you guys actually talk about what's going on in football and not in Dallas, Texas. Happy holidays, everybody, and to all the fans out there watching. You guys are great. William Harold, some great jokes. Great seeing Ed Harold. Great seeing AJ. It's like you guys are awesome. You guys got great fans. Thank you for letting me be a small part of the show. So love all you guys.
Thanks, Mark.
I'm sure we'll see you back at some point.
We'll see you when you're in Phoenix. All right.
Oh, and this weekend, college football, we're rooting for Texas to beat Clemson because that's where this little one went to school. That's right. That's right. Long live Molly. Her spirit continues to remain with Texas and the Commanders. So, see you guys.
Yeah.
Mark. Songs for this one. Let's see. Does it keep it up? AJ Brown.
Yeah, probably.
Against this defense, yeah.
Probably.
No, because I think they're going to go back to running the ball because, like,
we proved it for one game. Let's go back.
Because, again, and this was, he didn't actually really get to talk about it much, but the dumbest part about this.
It looked like he got injured at the end of last.
No, but the dumbest part for me about the Eagles coming out and mussing up, being like, "See, this is what you wanted to see. I threw the ball to AJ." And like, yeah, of course you did against the Steelers because that's what they're bad at.
Yeah.
They know how to stop the run. You tried and it didn't work, so you had to throw the freaking thing. Guess what you're going to do against this Commanders defense? You're going to run the ball and you're going to run it well. Like,
I think he'll still get his numbers somehow.
I'm gonna have
I'll add stonks for AJ. What's next?
All right. Next up, meaningless game.
Yeah, meaningless. I really need the Browns to win just to really, really kill Cincinnati.
It's DTR. They're not going to win.
I know it's DTR.
This is the Bengals.
DTR against Joe Burrow.
Bengals win this just to keep their playoff chances alive, and I'm going to laugh so hard. If they make the playoffs, I'm actually going to really laugh for the Bengals, and Chance, you're going to be over the moon because it means Zach Taylor's keeping his job.
Yeah.
Of course he's going to be in the playoffs.
Funny. Like, if they make the playoffs as the 7th seed, which, again, I don't think is going to happen because the thing that they need, the thing that they need to happen is whoever loses this game
needs to lose
Thursday needs to lose out. And I don't think that's happening given who they play.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm gonna go Bengals, but like I think
for 1 week they still have hopes of the win.
Yeah, and the irony being the game that's going to cost them their season is that Patriots loss at the start of the season. That's going to be the game that cost them their season.
Yeah. Stonks for this one, say Jerry Jeudy.
No. Who's throwing the ball?
DTR throwing him the ball? No. Yeah.
Oh, the pride of Haiti is going down. Okay.
All right.
Another meaningless game.
Yeah.
Oh,
technically the Cardinals are still in it.
Yeah, technically the Cardinals are still alive. They have to win out, but again,
overall meaningless.
Yeah, they've beaten the Panthers once in the last 15 years. So I don't think this is.
They had Cam Newton.
If this was at Arizona, I would pick Carolina.
Oh, interesting.
Well, Jacob knows, they're historically bad against Carolina when they're playing at home.
Even at Carolina, at
Carolina.
Yeah, they do not beat Carolina. That's the thing. They just can't. They did once, and that was also admittedly when they were horrifically bad.
That's true.
But remember, this is Cardinals are the team that Cam Newton went, I'm back on.
Yeah,
that was the game.
Yeah, they're historically bad against Carolina, so for that reason, I'm picking Carolina.
Yeah, I am too. I'm going Carolina, and it will end the Cardinals season.
I'll go Cardinals just because they need to win.
Now, who proved to be the superior midget? Bryce Young or Kyler Murray?
Battle the short
quarterback.
I'm going Bryce.
I don't know after last week. I get it was one game.
I think Bryce has a comeback game because I actually think that Cowboys defense is better than it's been playing and played better. I think that's what last week was that defense is very good. It just hadn't been playing like that.
That defense wants to keep Mike McCarthy. Sure, I'll say Bryce Young plays slightly better.
So Bryce Young automatically is stunks in that regard.
Okay.
All right, next up, Rams at Jets.
Hope you enjoyed the
Swear
one
to
win.
God, if the Jets
Jets.
win this game, I'm just gonna be so fucking angry. Actually, no, I'm not, because it means that they re-sign Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, it's
and
true. Long
they
term.
keep
Come on.
they keep long-term
long-term
success.
success.
But it's just more like, guy, did
Long-term
we
comedy.
lose that fucking game? Like, we lost that game. I'm just so annoyed by it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Rams are currently in firm control of their own destiny. They're currently at the top of the NFC West.
Yo.
They're going to want to keep that going to get into the playoffs. So, for that reason, I
Yes,
do
it's the
think
Jets.
that the Rams are going to win this game.
I'm going to say Rams because I also think that they're that team you don't want to play at the moment.
Yeah.
I think they're in the NFC. They're like, oh, they could be scary if they get in. They're that scary team, but I also think that they're also very likely to be one and done in the playoffs because they're going to probably.
It's kind of like last year. Yeah.
Yeah,
Where
they're
got
going to
in
play
and-
like last year. They were that, and
Yeah.
you know what really sucks right now is I went back and looked at all my preseason picks, and like I'm right about the Rams if they didn't get injured. I'm actually because like if Puka doesn't get injured, he is offensive player of the year candidate. The way he's been playing,
Maybe.
Candidate, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if he would get it just
Well, 'cause
because of what
Saquon would
Saquon's
easily-
doing. Like
yeah,
because
Saquon
of what
would easily-
Saquon's doing, probably not.
Yeah.
But he would genuinely be a candidate, and I just
Yeah.
so annoyed. Anyway,
Well, you were right about Jared Verse.
I will.
So
I
there
think
you go.
I think Mitchell's getting it though. The only
It's-
thing I can
it's- It's one of the two. It's one of
the
the
only
two.
thing I can hope for is a split vote between DeJean and Mitchell, and Verse just gets through. But
Oh, they want to vote for the white guy.
Give it to the white corner.
The white corner. That never happens.
all right.
Stonks for this one. Does he finally do something? Cooper Cup.
Oh yeah, he literally had no catches last game, so it can't be worse. Yeah.
No, because I think Puka is his target now. I think
Yeah.
I think he goes to Puka.
Also, the Jets have good cornerbacks. So,
Yeah.
so
I'm saying no.
I'll say no.
All right. That's
He won't have 0 catches, but he won't be good.
Oof. Oy vey.
Oh god.
Hey.
Yeah, the debut of Penix.
You have the debut of Penix, and what a team to debut against.
A team that is checked out. So you have
He's gonna look like he's gonna look like
amazing.
a fucking all pro, and we're all gonna be
Yes.
like, oh my god.
Oh,
Like,
the Falcons were so smart. It's like, no,
oh,
you
the
gotta play
Falcons are
Giants.
so smart as it was against the Giants. They've checked out. They don't care.
Yeah,
Like-
you need to win. So yeah, you're
Yeah,
amazing.
like if anything, losing is better for the Giants right now. they are in a very competitive battle to the bottom.
number one.
Like
Oh yes.
between them and the Raiders. Right
They are
now.
fighting in a generational tank off right now.
Oh yeah. Like they do not want to win. That is the worst possible thing for them right now. So yeah, I'm
Falcons.
especially given who the Raiders play this week. So I'm going Falcons, and it's going to be ugly, and it's going to get
Oof.
embarrassing.
So are we all in agreement that Penix is stunks because we got the Giants are bad?
Yeah,
I don't know. It's not like major stunts, but yeah.
yeah, I think he'll look good.
He'll look pretty good.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
no, I think he'll look good. I wouldn't be shocked.
I mean, it's hard to look worse compared to what
I know.
is
I
following.
wouldn't be. I actually wouldn't be shocked if this is a massive Drake London game. The irony being what
What if Kyle Pitts does well?
This is a Kyle Pitts game
I was
because what
I was
is
remembering Kyle Pitts. It's
No,
Kyle Pitts.
because-
still no.
what is
no.
no because what is a rookie quarterback's best friend?
It's tight end.
Tight end.
It's a tight end, and
Dump
yeah,
offs to Kyle Pitts.
Clench your butt cheeks and find your tight end.
Yeah.
so
Penix
yeah.
to a tight
God.
So bad.
All right.
Penix' best friend is a tight end.
The jokes write themselves.
Colts Titans.
It's also meaningless.
Pretty much meaningless.
This now is meaningless. Like that loss.
That's why I said the slate was pretty bad.
Like,
This week is-
The thing is that loss. It doesn't make this officially meaningless, but it's a basically meaningless.
We
game.
do have to give a salute. The meme lord is officially dead.
Oh,
Will
they
Levis
benched him.
has been benched.
He's dead
Right,
for
maybe.
this game. I haven't like.
Yeah,
we got
Mason Rudolph
Rudolph.
sucks, so just put him back in again.
They're probably going to bench
Rudolph-
Mason Rudolph at some
It's
point.
just musical
with your
chairs, just
throws
switching
so
in and out.
tight, won't you lead this drive tonight?
Probably not.
Probably not.
He also played
But yeah, so
I'm
I mean,
so
the
glad
Titans
you
are
have
now
no
they're
idea
now
how close I
firmly
was to
in
removing
the
you for that fucking pun.
The what?
You have
Say what?
no idea how close I was to removing you for that.
Oh wow. That was Jacob's breaking point.
that was the point. That was the breaking point.
Jesus fucking Christ, that was bad.
I had the whole song written.
Oh god. No. All right.
I'm not gonna do it, but like here's what I'll say. I think the Titans now are like firmly in. We need a new quarterback. Will Levis.
They do.
First of all, forgot to mention, Will Levis got played through 3 picks, got sacked, had a fumble, all in front of his ex-girlfriend.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, she was at the game.
Oh, wow.
She's a Bengals cheerleader. That's why. Like she's.
I thought she was in the box.
Every NFL player
Sorry?
is dating a cheerleader.
I don't know if she's a cheerleader, but she was at the game.
Yeah, no, she's on. She does something with the Bengals. That's why it was a story. It was like she's. Yeah, that's why she was at the game. It's not like she was just I was at the game because the Titans
I just happened to be there.
Yeah, no, it was she had to be there because
she's a TikTok person.
She's involved.
She lives in Tennessee. I don't know if she has any
she may have
connection to the
been at the
Bengals.
game then. I don't know.
She lives in Tennessee.
Whatever.
Yeah, I think she just knew this game was going to be like embarrassing.
I want to see my ex-boyfriend play terribly.
But yeah, Titans are now in the conversation for a new quarterback. They're a little too far ahead in the great tank race in the draft.
Yeah,
I could see them being desperate and overdrafting somebody.
probably. Or they could get Sam Darnold.
Or they can get Sam Darnold.
I think look Titans overpaying for Sam Darnold feels like the move that's most likely going to happen. And if I'm Sam's agent, not if I'm his agent, because his agent wants him to get overpaid. If I'm Sam's friend or family, I'm saying to them to not go to a bad team.
If I am Sam's friend or his family or his wife, I am telling him not to go.
Do not go to a bad team because that's the mistake you made at the Jets. Now, if the Titans are dumb enough to pay him like
a lot of money, I mean,
okay, all right. You know what? 4 years.
Take your money.
Yeah, you give me 4 years, $240 million to be a bad quarterback for 4 years. I'll do it.
Why would you say no to that?
Okay, that's hard to say no to. That's genuinely hard, especially given another team might be like, oh, we're only going to pay you 10, 15 million. Yeah, okay, you know what? Yeah, I'll take the 240. That's fair. I will give you that.
Yeah.
Do that. But like, know that that's the end of your career. 100% and get that money fully guaranteed, or at least like 200
mostly guaranteed.
Get it mostly guaranteed. Set yourself up for life after football.
Or get the Kirk Cousins contract. In also go get that contract where
better yet, hire his agent. Hire Kirk Cousins.
Hire Daniel Jones' agent. You're in the same building as him right now. Get his agent.
I don't even know who wins this. I don't care.
I don't care. I'll say Colts.
I'm gonna say Colts.
Colts, and I'm gonna say Colts with Richardson being benched and Flacco coming in at some point. And
really?
They're gonna do it again.
Because I was gonna throw out Richardson.
They're done. Richardson's done. Both of these teams are looking for a new quarterback in the offseason. Unfortunately, their draft picks are going to be too high to actually grab one.
That's why they probably still stick with Richardson one more year, and then if he's still this terrible, then they'll switch.
All right. What's next?
Oh, there's no stunks because no one's stunks in this game.
I said Richardson.
Oh, Richardson. Right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Vikings and Seahawks.
Ooh.
This is. I think this is a sneaky good game. I think this is one of those. I think this is one of those games.
It sounds like Gino's fine, so it'll be him again.
But here's the thing. I think I don't think Gino plays. I actually kind of think both quarterbacks play the exact same game. I think that they're both going to be relatively similar. At the end of it, you're going to look at their stats and be like, "Oh my God,
they're both rejected Jets quarterbacks."
These are similar. These are like identical, and like I think that very much is what's going to happen with this. But I also think that I have a feeling that. I've got this gut feel that this could be a really bad Sam Darnold game because that Seahawks defense is better than advertised, and they may end up like Sam Darnold may look really bad in this game, and we're like, oh shit, hang on, Vikings, we may have crowned them too soon.
That's the thing. Like, I had this weird feeling the Seahawks are going to take this, so I'm taking Seattle.
I'll take the Vikings.
Yeah.
I think their defense still might be a little better than the Seahawks. So.
Songs for this one, say JSN.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna say songs.
He's their new number one.
Yeah. All right.
That's a big spread.
Good God.
Not as big as last week, but yeah, that's big.
I swear to fucking God. I swear to God. We
Lose
lose.
the last one because the last week 18 probably won't matter.
But no, I'm
maybe it
hoping
could-
it
maybe it
does.
could.
I'm hoping
Okay.
it does matter.
Yeah.
I swear to God, we lose this game.
Jacob said this multiple times.
I swear. Actually, this isn't even the one I'm actually that worried about because Josh Allen against the Patriots, surprisingly, has
He's
been
really good.
very good.
It's the Jets he's
the
struggling with,
Jets.
right? Yeah,
That's the one
Jets
I'm
he
worried about
struggles.
next week. I am genuinely worried about the Jets next week.
Oh, if they bump you down to, if the Jets bump you down to 3, that'll be the funniest thing on the planet.
That's my genuine concern because I don't want to go to I mean the positive we've got is there's no way we can go to Baltimore and play them. Do you know what I mean? Like there's no way there's no way that we have to go to Baltimore, but I don't want to go to the Steelers. I really don't. I really don't want to go to Pittsburgh.
And I don't want to go to Buffalo.
Exactly.
Fair.
One of us has got to go somewhere.
That's
Yeah.
true.
So unless you beat the Chiefs and the Texans do it this week, and then
And Buffalo the one seed.
we'll have the 1 seed. So
But then we still got to go to Buffalo. I don't want to go to Buffalo.
Eventually, yeah, if you
well,
keep winning.
eventually,
If you keep
eventually,
winning,
but it
yeah.
won't be in the divisional round like it is right now. I'm gonna go Bills,
Yeah, but
and I'm feeling confident about this game.
as good as Drake may is, he has
Not
nothing. He has nothing around him.
Look, I'm feeling confident about this game. Not that spread, and if it was, I don't think it's a massive blowout.
Because it's a bit of a come down after the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think it's
They
that. I
scored
wouldn't-
4 and allowed 40.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we've just kind of been one of those like, oh, hey, yep,
We're taking it easy a little bit because
we take it a little bit easy on this game. But that being said,
they still win.
we still win.
Yeah, I'm also taking the Bills in this one. Although, as funny as it would be for the Patriots to win this one, I think if we did a show next week, that'd be amazing. But I am going Bills.
All right, next up.
Stonks, Khalil Shakir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Stonks
Mm.
actually.
Because Amari
You know,
Cooper,
he's not really been using.
he
him
ain't
much.
doing anything, Amari Cooper.
Like
It's like-
this. Like well, yeah.
Why did you bring Cooper here?
we don't know.
because he's an extra weapon, but he's also like Allen's.
Veteran
He's spreading
presence.
the ball, and again, we got Cooper for nothing. Again, we got him for nothing. Like, let's be real here. It's not like we spent a first round pick on him. Like, we got him for nothing.
I mean,
So-
a third's not nothing.
It's not nothing, but it's not.
It is when we got
It's not
more than
overpaying.
that. It is when we got more than that for Diggs. So
Mm.
you know, like
Yeah.
I'll take it. And he's playing better than Diggs.
Maybe he'll matter
right
in the
now for
playoffs.
us.
Well, considering he's playing, yes.
Yeah, he still has a pulse.
Yeah. All right.
What's
What
next?
we got? Ugh.
Oh, wow. So this is a pickup. Vegas doesn't know who's going to win this game.
This is a nothing game. This is
I think
now
Daniel
a
gets
nothing
this-
game. Like I know
Well, no,
Dolphins.
this is the Howell divorce bowl because Russell's a Niners fan. His wife is a Dolphins fan.
Oh, fair enough. Like this is a technically Dolphins are alive. Actually, it's a technically meaningful game, but it's realistically. I actually think by the time this game's played, it will be meaningless
That could be, yeah.
because it's one of those ones where they have to have certain things happen. But
Right.
I think one of them is
Colts losing out, right? Or I don't know.
Colts losing, but also
Well, the Thursday night also matters.
yes, that's the other. That's the other one.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway.
I don't know.
I'm it's in
Miami.
It's in Miami. I'm going Dolphins. I don't know, and I don't
Sure.
care at this point. Like this is such a
I'll
meaningless
follow
game.
that logic.
Yeah,
They're in Miami.
I don't pick the 49ers, so Dolphins.
fair. Again, I'm like I don't think the 49ers are a good team.
Neither of the Dolphins, but
The Dolphins aren't a good team, but they play well. They play well against bad teams. So
they play well at home.
yeah.
I mean, who cares? We're starting with this one. But I'll say Jalen Waddle.
I don't even think
Sure,
he's
because
playing.
Tyreek Hill's fucking washed. So
Jalen Waddle might be hurt.
Oh, was he hurt? Okay, well then fuck that. Ricky Pearsall.
Ricky Pearson, no.
No, not stonks.
He's done nothing since that one random game where he had a touchdown.
All right. Next up, this is the Raiders cost themselves the number 1 seed game.
Oh,
Who wants to lose more?
I genuinely think Raiders win this game, and it cost them the number 1 seed, and it cost them Shedeur
Hey, the
Sanders.
Jaguars look halfway decent last week.
Yeah,
Maybe those.
I think this is the game that cost them Shedeur Sanders, and they go and they have to go Cam Ward instead.
what is Shedeur Sanders going to say when the Raiders win?
he'll still say praise God.
I don't. I think he's going to be like, God fucking damn it.
He's too conditioned at this point. He just keeps saying the same thing.
I think he wanted to go to the Raiders because he wanted to go to Vegas and
potentially get his dad. Yeah.
And I think he's going to New York, and I don't think Daddy's coming with him. Whereas, I think Dad was coming with him to Vegas, but I don't think Dad's coming with him to New York.
I honestly, I'm gonna pick the Jaguars because actually they look. And Brian Thomas is gonna destroy this defense. So.
Yeah, I was picking the Jaguars too. Stonks for this one. Let's say Travis Etienne.
Yes.
I'm saying not stonks because I don't think the Jags are going to be good because I don't trust Mac Jones. I watched Mac Jones for 4 years.
I think he's gonna be a check down magnet. So I'm gonna go Stonks.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and our Sunday night game that I will definitely not be watching. I'll be doing something. Actually, no, I won't be watching it because I will be out for dinner. Actually,
I wish this was flexed. I really do.
I can't believe it wasn't. Like, I mean, I guess there isn't really a game to flex.
Yeah.
Like,
again, the slate is bad this week.
It really is. It's a really bad slate this week.
There are worse games than this. So
maybe Vikings Seahawks, maybe, but you just had the Seahawks on Sunday night. So yeah.
Bucks win.
Yeah,
because one, they need to, and two, they're the better team.
I'm going Bucks, yeah, because they're a better team. Although I wouldn't be surprised if this is one of those like, oh, Baker's a human games, and we all go like, what the fuck is going on with this Cowboys team? And yeah,
Trevon Diggs out for the year.
Yeah, he is. So
they're depleted.
At least in my stonks, Mike Evans still on the quest for 1,000.
Yes, of course.
That's actually stonks because they
are trying their hardest to get
they want it more than Mike wants it,
and
like,
now it's achievable after that last game he had.
Yep,
so,
like he has to. I think it's 90 yards. He needs 90 yards in all of these games.
Oh, in all of these, yeah, he
needs to average like 90.
Yeah, two total. I think.
So 3 weeks ago it was like 120, and they've gotten it down to 90. Like that's like it's 80 something that they had to average, and they've gotten it down there. So like he's getting it. He's 100% getting it at this point.
And it would break the record, right, for the longest.
No, it ties Jerry
Rice's
It ties Jerry Rice's record, which means if that happens, he's more than likely coming back next year because
of course,
instead of retiring.
Sure.
But yeah.
All right, and Monday night, what do we got?
Monday night. Again,
another two games with a 14.
Anything else other than this?
I will be on the road.
Well, there you go.
This
is not going to be pretty.
This is going to be ugly. It's going to be a bad game. It's going to be a really bad game.
I might honestly. You could take that. You could take the Packers to cover that.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
And for this one, I'm going to say Jaden Reed.
I wouldn't say it's a coin toss which Packers receiver shows up. So I'll say no.
Yeah,
it's usually not him for some reason. He loves Romeo Doubs.
He does. I don't understand it.
All right. And last week, we don't need to talk about last week. Wait, 2-5.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, that and the Jets one's lucky. The Jets one was lucky. I'm straight up going to admit that one was luck. The Rams one, I got saved because of the Rams one realistically shouldn't count because of how bad that game looked. I got that one was rough. So let's move on to this week. Broncos plus 2.5. Steelers +6, absolutely. I'm going Eagles. I'm taking the points. I think Eagles.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Again, If I'm wrong, I can hate the Eagles even more. So I'll always have a reason to hate them. And the Bucks -4.
Yeah.
Again, it's against the Cowboys. I think. Yeah,
the win.
And again, I think this Bears team has checked out. I think they are done. And Lions coming off that loss, they're going to want to come in and just hammer home that we can win this game. So yeah, I think that's. So yeah.
And that's going to do it for us here on the show. Connor, where can we find you?
Twitter at the King Kong and the Letterboxd. That's basically. I just saw Craven, and that was so boring.
Oh my God, Craven!
No one told me it'd be boring. I thought it'd be laughably bad. It was just boring.
Oh, well, you didn't laugh. You didn't laugh.
Oh, I did laugh. Yes, I laughed at the line.
You didn't laugh at the lion blood and voodoo juice. Said, Mom's dead. She killed herself. All right, we're going out to.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
That's not good films. Jake, where can people find you?
You can find me pretty much everywhere at Jacob London, and also playing Marvel's Rivals at the moment because I'm obsessed.
I literally did just download the game. I want to.
It's gonna go do this after.
Well, if you want to stay up for tonight, you can. We're gonna probably jump on and play for a little bit. So.
Okay, yeah, I probably say I got nothing else to do. And you find me Twitter, my chance _91, and Blue Sky chance _91. Taking the Toys by Chance, the podcast episode on Jingle All the Way is out. Our episode on Muppets Christmas Carol was recorded today, so that'll be out within the next few days. And yeah, that's going to do it for us here. Thank you for watching. We will see you next week.
Hey!